This pick a card is going to be messages from your inner child. Now I'll put the decks up. I will show you guys this one because like the light on it, you can't see anything. But this is this deck. The Heavenly Bodies Astrology. And then we're going to be using the Fairy Tarot. Gonna use Soul Speak. Gonna use the Inner Child Healing. Scoots. I'm gonna scoots it. There we go. And we're gonna use Gaia for the little ending affirmations. Okay, so like I was saying, this is going to be messages from your inner child. I'm choosing to do this at this time. This is timeless, you know, for whenever you pick it, but I'm choosing to do it currently at this time because everything is moving into Gemini, and we're going to be having a eclipse happening on the 26th. And Gemini energy is very curious. It's all about discovery. It's very, like coming from that space of indulging the inner child. So, I mean, if you were going to get messages, why not right now, huh? When it's wanting to talk and chatter with this Gemini energy. So, and also for those of you that don't know about the giveaway, I'm doing a giveaway for this bundle right here. It's a rose quartz. Oh, thanks for the emote, love. So it's Howlite, Shiva shell. You guys can't see it. Shiva eye shell. Heart in there. There's angel aura quartz, desert rose selenite, rose quartz DT, and Palo Santo, and then plus you also get the inner child healing oracle. All that's in the giveaway, and all you gotta do is subscribe to my YouTube channel and leave a diamond, crystal, whatever you want to call it, emoji on your favorite video. And that way I know you want to enter the contest, and I can put you in there. If you're following me on here and you're chatting, then you get two, like you get another one, so you get 2 entries into the giveaway just by being here and like chatting and following me on Twitch. But it's like you don't have to do that in order to be entered into the giveaway. The actual entry is the subscribe on YouTube and the diamond comment, just so I know. But yeah, that's the May giveaway. Winner will be announced on May 31st live here, and if you can't make it to the live, the video will be uploaded on YouTube Tuesday, that following Tuesday. I forgot some of my my tea leaf ones over here, but yeah, so looking forward to who wins that. But like I said, we are going to be moving on now to these messages that your inner child is wanting to bring to you right now. What's on your inner child's mind? What, like, maybe you're part of that group that was ignoring yours and it wants to yell at you. You know, whatever's going to come out for this reading. Like, it's going to be a surprise. And like last time, I'll be picking 4 crystals for you guys to choose from. So that way you guys can see what you're most drawn to. Or if you have a number 1 through 4 that you like, because there's going to be 4 piles, you can go by numbers. It's like however you feel called to, or if you're just like, hey, these messages are resonating with me, I like this, then it's for you too. So however it sits. But like I was saying, these are going to be the decks that I'm going to be using, going through each one, the Inner Child Healing Oracle, and then the Fairy Tarot up close in case you guys want to see the name on that one. Same for this one. Person that makes them, in case you like the art on this one. With the Heavenly Bodies Astrology. And then the Soul Speak. And Gaia's Grace. Okay, so let's get into this. What crystals am I wanting to pick for you guys? First one we're gonna do, if I can reach over there. Come here. Oh gosh. Well, I guess she wants to be part of it too. She's group 2. But this right here is Smokey Quartz. See if I can make it do the little rainbows in there. But the Smoky Quartz Flame is going to be group 1. The rainbows. And then group 2, since she wants to jump out, is gonna be our little Opalite mermaid that's sleeping on the moon. It's all sleepy. Come on. Well, she's being shy now. She doesn't want to focus anymore. There we go. So we got our moon, and since we got some shapes going, we might as well pull out our others, right? Rose Quartz Fairy. Sitting on her little moon. Who is gonna come up here? Oh, I see you hiding in there. Okay, because I have some behind here. We're gonna scoot him up. We are gonna get this guy, because he hasn't been out here in a bit. Come here. Yes, I have way too many crystals, and they're obviously all over the place in here. So, I'm gonna pull this guy out of hiding. Strawberry Quartz Fox. Super sparkly. Super sparkly strawberry quartz guy. Little fox. Okay, so these are our 4 choices for you guys for the messages from your inner child. Now, if there's more than one that you really feeling pulled at, then like I said, there might be multiple messages. If there's a number in your mind that you're drawn to without the crystals, you can do that. Or you can just listen to everything and be like, hey, that clicked. It's all for you. So, let's go ahead and... What happened to my... Did you... Oh, I thing messed up. Okay, it's good now. So that should be good for time wise for you guys picking out your little groups over here. Oh, don't you do that to me. Group 3's naughty. I'm just gonna go ahead and put that out there. Okay, so okay. So my Smokies, my group 1s. Let's see what the message from your inner child is. What's your inner child got to say to you? Honor yourself first. It's just going to come right out the gate that you guys are not going as hard for yourself as you can, as you do for others. It's like you need to start putting yourself first a little more. It's looked at as being selfish, but it's like you guys need to see it more as self-preservation at this point, because if this is coming out like this out the gate, it's pretty much like, how are you supposed to even get anything done? You guys have big problems with trusting yourselves. And expressing your sensuality. Master number 33, repeating 3s for anyone that's been seeing those. There seems to be a lot of blockages with you guys in this respect. You are ready. All these reds and oranges are really making me think about you guys having the lower, like the solar plexus, the sacral, the root, like having the blockages in those areas. Especially with the sensuality and the have faith. You have another repeating number with 20. Wait, you guys got 33, 11, and 22. You guys are definitely seeing repeating numbers when it comes to these things. When you guys are feeling very doubtful, more than likely you're seeing things along the lines of 2s and 4s. But when like you need to take action, you're going to be seeing 1s. Now, you expressing and honoring yourself is going to come more along the lines of 3s. But you trusting yourself and knowing you're ready to do something, you're going to be seeing the 1s, especially if you're doubting yourself over here. It's like really staying true to it. But you guys have this repeating number thing out the yin yang over here. And I mean, this reduces to a 10 and you got a 10, so probably even seeing 10, 10. And this is more oranges and yellows that you guys have with create your own path. So for one, I think your inner child wants to announce that it is talking to you all the damn time. Because literally every number you guys have repeats in some way. Even like the 28 reducing to 10, you have 10, you have 29 reducing to 11, you have 11, then you got 33, 11, 22. It's like, your inner child's constantly talking to you. Now, there is a big energy about the reason it's suppressed is because of the lower chakra system. Now, what each of these do and they correspond to is like, if you want to think of them in different ways than just like, well, I don't know what solar plexus or sacral or whatever. If you know the energy of the triple goddess energy or the maiden mother crone, where the maiden is the pure childlike joy-filled energy that hasn't been really tainted like by outside experiences, and then the mother is the one getting more in touch with herself, the one that's creative, the one that, you know, can bear children, can create businesses. Like, this is the energy of like creation. This is also that sensuality, being comfortable in your sexuality, being comfortable in your body. The root or the crone energy is going to be that wisdom that you gain through going through getting the confidence and understanding your body. It's like you get rooted in that security. And a lot of times people talk about like you need to be grounded first, like through your root chakra and everything. Not everyone's the same. Some people work backwards, okay? Like, and I feel like that's what your inner child is trying to say is like, hey, we got to start with me first. Like, we got to start here. We got to start with this confidence energy. Like, we got to get back to our creativity. We got to like start having fun again. Like, 'cause that's what this solar plexus energy is like having that confidence, joy, having fun. Like, it's that bright sun Leo energy. So it's saying like, get back to here. Because once you start trusting that creative, like fun-loving energy as being something that's good, then you can start working towards being more comfortable expressing that sacral energy, which is that sensuality, being comfortable in your sexuality, in your own body, and what you create, and being proud of it. Because, you know, that inner child, like, think of when you're a kid and you're creating art, you're freaking proud as hell of it. Like, you're not comparing it to anybody. You're like, look at my freaking masterpiece. That's pretty much what you guys are getting back to, is realizing, for one, you create masterpieces and you are a damn masterpiece. It's pretty much what this is. Having the root come in here is this wisdom you're going to get from this. It's how you're going to learn to have faith and trust yourself. Because this is upper energy that you guys, like the purples and blues and all that kind of stuff, that's upper energy. Even the green's kind of mixed in as heart-centered energy. But your stuff is so heavy, like the way you're going to learn to open these things up, especially if you feel blocked off, is just starting first with allowing yourself to create. Just allowing it, because some of you don't even allow it. There's like a big thing where it's like you won't even do it. And the card you guys had under the deck was allow, like, you know, create your own path. You're not, like I said, kids aren't comparing themselves to anybody. It's like they draw something. It's like they're the first person that drew it ever. They created it from their imagination. And you know what? It's freaking great. And like that's their whole thing. That's all they're thinking about. They're not thinking I can make money off of it. They're not thinking how does it look compared to this person. They're just like, look at what I did. I am so freaking proud of it. And it's like your inner child's coming up like, where did that go? Why aren't you proud anymore of what we do? Like, why are you putting it down so much? It really is good. It's like you guys really getting back to like that core energy here. And we get, these two came out together. Now the lighting makes these a little bright, so I gotta hold it close. But you guys have house 6 and house 9. Now, house 6 is establishing a foundation, health, daily life, and practical details. And house 9 is spiritual growth. So, this coming out with the honor and the trust kind of energy is like, you know, you start honoring yourself by taking care of yourself. Like, some of you just straight up need to start taking care of yourselves. With this health energy, but there's also this need for building a foundation in what makes you happy. Like it gives your daily life a purpose, and for some of you it feels very lacking, like you don't have that, and it's because you're not honoring your creativity. You're not honoring that energy that is just like a wild force inside that lets you create from a place that's not being judged. The trust that comes with this obviously is going to bring a lot of spiritual growth. I mean, 9th house matters is like learning. Some of you might even choose to go to school to learn techniques or take classes online or something. So that way it's like you feel more savvy in what you're doing, so you can create more freely. Like if that's what you need, then allow yourself to do it. There's no shame in wanting to learn anything about the craft that you love. you don't have to be this divinely guided person where everything that comes out of your hand is like pure magic. Like, you can create purely because you want to, and if you want to perfect, which people say perfect, but there's no perfection. It's more of like, just keep building on your craft and what you love, then by all means expand. That's what ninth house is expansion. Like, go and do what you want instead of like feeling like, oh, it's not practical. It's like, the practical thing for you is taking care of your health. The best thing for you as a whole is going after what makes you happy. So it's like, when you're doing something that makes you happy, your health follows. Like, it gets better, your mental health gets better, all of it. Okay, so you guys, and I'm going to talk about these because these are astrology aspects. So you guys have square and opposition. So square, challenging situation, a mountain to climb, and then opposition, imbalance, a point of tension, and a power struggle. Now, squares and oppositions, which I find interesting because you have the 6th and 9th house, which actually can do squares sometime depending on the degrees of your chart. This energy is really trying to let you know, yes, I mean, your inner child isn't, naive. It's over here like, I know it's a challenge, but at the same time, like, were you scared of climbing the trees? It's like, all we thought of was climbing the trees. We didn't think about how to get back down. It's like we get stuck in the tree. It's like, we're not sitting here judging the mountain and thinking it's impossible. It's like, we're just seeing it as something that we can do, something new that we can take on. So it's really about changing that mindset and looking at things like, hey, this is something new I can do. And being able to really allow yourself to explore it. Now, this opposition over here is literally like you going back and forth between trying to express it and not feeling like you're ready. It's like, no, it's not the right time yet. And so it's creating this big struggle where you guys are just fighting with, is it okay to do this? Is it proper to do this? It's like, this is getting to the point where it doesn't matter if it's proper or not. You just need to do it. Like, you're ready to do this thing. The reason things are feeling so imbalanced is because you keep holding yourself back, and it's like this weird rubber band effect that's getting more and more taut, and eventually it will snap and break. So you guys either can start like weaning yourself closer to where it's less tension, and then allowing it back to its natural state, which is like coming back to that inner child energy and allowing yourself to be in your natural creative state, your natural state of expression and like confidence. It's like, it's gonna be a struggle and it's gonna be very tense until you can just allow that. It's like a very it's like bringing calm to a freaking tsunami. So obviously it's not easy, it's a big challenge, but it's like you have to have that beginner's eyesight, beginner mindset. Eyesight works too, I guess. And then we have the element of air. These are wanting to come out in doubles, I'm noticing. This is wanting, come on, the light on these. I want you guys to be able to see the stuff. So we have air with open-mindedness, objectivity, and learning. And then we have Mars, move forward and defend self. So air is all about some communication too. And you guys are definitely getting to this thing where you need to express yourselves more. You need to believe in yourself that you can express yourself. Some of you have a really hard time with standing up for yourself. Like, this honor is you very much lacking boundaries, which sixth house is what puts up the boundaries. Because thinking of the opposing, because oppositions that balance, the house that is supposed to balance out the sixth house is the 12th house. This 12th house has the energy of Pisces, which tends to make boundaries very blurry. It makes it hard to put up the protection because the veil seems so thin. But sixth house is like, we're going to ground this, and there's going to be a foundation, and there's going to be a boundary. There's going to be something that protects health. And the main thing that protects health is like literally having the boundaries, honoring your body, knowing like when you need rest, knowing like how to nurture yourself. And the true growth and true movement comes when you get to the place where it's like you're honoring yourself and doing what you love and expressing yourself and communicating these things. Because the thing is, if you're always feeling like you need to defend yourself, like this card says over here, like what you're communicating is being defensive, then you're not really trusting yourself in your judgment if you're always trying to like fight over like your own truth. You don't need to fight anyone over your truth. You know your truth. You have faith in your truth. You trust your truth. You express your truth. That's that. You know, if they don't agree, that's their opinion, but you know what yours is. You don't need to be going out there and like changing everything because someone doesn't agree with you. Now, this is completely different than this open-mindedness and learning. Because having the ninth house and having air energy is like this higher octave learning where we always want to grow, we always want to learn. Now, this gets misconstrued a lot because it's kind of thrown around quite a bit. There's this thing about like honoring your truth, not letting people like move you or whatever. Now, your truth is basically like how you honor yourself. Your truth is what you feel of yourself and your worth. Like, your worth is your truth. Now, there's a big difference in your truth and honoring your well-being and your peace and being completely closed-minded to learning anything. Like, you can still honor yourself and have boundaries and listen to other people. Like, it's not like you can't have one without the other. That's why there's this need for balance here with this opposition. Some of you might be very literal, and it's like, well, if I have boundaries in my truth, that means if I hear somebody else and it conflicts with me, obviously it's not going to work. Like, no, that's not what this is saying. It's saying, like, honor yourself, your creativity, like, your expression. Don't allow people to, like, shove you down and try to put you in a box. Like, honor yourself in that way. But at the same time, don't try to push anyone into what you consider the proper box either. It goes both ways. Like, you have to be open-minded and realize everyone's truth is their own truth. No matter how much people might agree down to an extent, it gets down to the core, and we all each have our individual truth that only we can see through our own perception. No matter how much you explain it, no one's ever going to truly get your truth because they can't see it and feel it in your own, like, your own self. There can be people that are empaths and sensitives and stuff, but they're only feeling a certain extent of what is happening. You can have psychic abilities and you can see things, but you're only going to see things to a certain extent. You can't fully embody and understand another human being. It's just not going to happen. No matter how hard you try or how much you feel you know a person, there's always something in there that is personally theirs, and it will never come out because it belongs to them. And that's the thing you're supposed to honor. Like, some people, like, their truth, they're going to yell it to the world and people are going to know about it because they don't freaking care. But other people, their truth is theirs personally, and that's what they navigate the world with. That's their moral compass. So they're not going to be like going on the mountaintops and screaming it, but they're damn sure not going to let no one steer them away from their moral compass. But they'll listen to you. And then bottom of the deck, we have house 7 with profound relationships, intimacy, and romantic partnerships. So some of you, I mean, it doesn't surprise me to see that house here with expressing your sensuality. There's definitely this need for talking more in your relationships. I mean, like I said, you can't create boundaries without communication. It's just, but at the same time, people aren't gonna know. Like I said, no matter how far you go, like people cannot, like whoever, okay, people can read minds, good for them. But not everyone is going to be able to read a mind 100% of the time, and nor should it be expected of you or you expecting it of someone else, because that just causes tension. It causes tension. Like there needs to be this open communication that happens. Otherwise, it's just going to be like assumptions. And if you're building a relationship around assuming the way someone else feels or assuming what someone wants to do, it's almost like the person doesn't have a voice of their own. Or if someone's doing that to you, that's where you need to realize that you need to start garnering a voice and creating this place where you're actually honoring yourself and you're speaking up and expressing things, no matter which area of your life that's in. So let's see what the fairies have to say to you guys. So we got the Prince of Winter, this ferret, intellectual, determined, focused, impulsive. So seek out an intellectual solution to your problem, the need to act quickly and decisively, sudden or unexpected changes. Now we got some air energy coming out again after this air energy. This also showing up over here with being determined and focused is like you guys need to have the motivation and the backing for yourself to do, like I said, to honor yourselves. You guys need to like stand up and create the boundaries and realize that what you're doing and being determined in doing it and being motivated to do it for yourself and not needing no rhyme or reason other than you're doing it for yourself is okay. Now, some of you need to be a little more logical, because I mean, seeing this kind of energy, I feel like you guys might not be, because when you have problems with the sacral energy, a lot of times your emotions are kind of erratic. It makes it to where you can blow up easily, you can cry easily, you shut down, you're way too talkative, like whatever it is, like this anxiety kind, it's like your emotions are outside of your body and you have very little control of it. And that also makes it to where your intimacy is not really there, because you're always putting a distance between you and someone else, as well as your intimacy with yourself, because you're keeping things at a distance. Some of you need to take a little bit of a step back from this energy, because it's like an explosion almost, and be a little more observant. Because for some of you, you feel so blocked that you don't know where to start, when really the way to start is just to kind of back off and breathe a little bit. Just to kind of get a new perspective. Especially if you're going through changes right now. And it's like, it's pretty much letting you know, like, you guys have the intelligence. You guys can definitely pull anything off that you want to. But you guys are also, how can I put this? A lot of times you need to be pushed to do something. Otherwise you'll sit being comfortable. And it's not like you're necessarily comfortable, because you're kind of squirming. But it's almost like you won't act unless you need to like make a very quick decision, which that's not healthy for you either. It's like there really needs to be a balance here where you're making decisions because you feel confident in the decisions you're making, not because you're being forced to make a decision. So we got the Two of Spring, a bright future manifested through hard work and creativity, partnering with others who share your dreams, and great crops. Yeah, great crops, great progress being made. And this coming out with this ninth house energy is really interesting because once again, we're talking about creativity over here, but it's like partnering with people who share your dreams. This is very expansive energy. This could be partnering with a mentor, because ninth house is, like I was saying, higher learning. Whether that is college or it's like having someone that you go to that is more of like a spiritual teacher or a friend that you really look up to and admire. It's almost like having someone that can show you the way so you can walk it, and then you create your own way of doing things once you kind of have your footing and you understand. It's really going to help you guys progress a lot more quickly. It's going to help you guys expand your thinking a lot more quickly and learn to trust yourself and be more optimistic. But it really has to come from you actually opening yourself to it. Okay, so these two come out together. We got both the King of Summer and the High Priestess coming out over here together, which to me is very intuitive energy, like, because having some King of Cups coming out over here and the High Priestess back to back, this is like some very intuitive energy. A lot of you guys, if you're feeling like you're not really tapped in, it's because this energy lies in your emotions. So when your emotions are very chaotic, your intuition is almost like it's on the fritz, like the antenna's bent or something. It's like the antenna is as bent out of shape as your emotions are, and that's why it's like the signals are wacky. You don't know what's going on and why it's almost like your signals don't work and everyone else's is working. It's because your emotions need healing. And that's where all of your sense of belonging comes from, or your sense of connectedness comes from. This is definitely, there's a lot of trust energy here. I mean, literally, romantic partner, you can trust your intuition, like both these cards, trust yourself always. You guys have a lot of trust energy. I mean, ninth house energy is that optimism and trust and faith in something bigger than you. So there's a lot of trust for you guys here, and or at least learning to trust. There's also a maturity here. Now, this could either be you guys, like, you know, growing from understanding and coming back and really getting, like, overcoming these mountains you need to climb and starting to mature into this energy. Or this could be you taking a step back, and this is going to be the mentor coming in. Whether this is someone that's more of a father figure or possibly a romantic partner, or it's someone that's quite literally like this freaking spiritual guru that wants to come as the high priestess over here, depending on where you are in your life, because this right here is all about just making you trust things. Depending, you could meet both of them, to be quite honest with you, but depending on who you meet, there's going to be someone that's more about advice, like giving you like very open-hearted advice on how to work through these different problems. And then this person's also going to be someone that really sparks your creativity. Now, this other person who might actually be older is all about trusting your intuition, but also making sure that instead of being impulsive, because that's what a lot is going to happen here, some impulsive tendencies might come out when you're trying to be more logical because it's fighting with your emotions. This person's going to teach you a lot about introspection. It's going to teach you a lot about slowing down and learning to trust the quiet, because for you guys, quiet probably drives you nuts. This is a lot of just more higher minded energy. It might not be as connected as this energy is over here. This could be someone that's more of a removed teacher, someone that just knows the depth and can teach through this, can teach you balance, teach you how to step out into the world, teach you to trust your intuition. But this person's going to be someone that's a lot more connected, someone that's very devoted, whether it's just a really great friend or it's a romantic relationship. This is like someone coming in that's going to help you learn how to trust in your creative abilities, as well as trusting that your emotions are precious. So whichever of these come in, both are very helpful. If you get both, if you get one or the other, it's the one you need more, because that's, I mean, obviously you're being shown that there's help pretty much coming in to help you with this. Or people, I should help coming in to help you with this. But you guys definitely, if you've met someone that reminds you of either of these two, it could be a combination of these two also. If it feels like you know a person that embodies both of these traits, because it seems like you're more in this, and it doesn't mean that they have to be older than you. This can be like someone that gives off more of a vibe of like an old soul energy, and you have a younger energy where you're trying to learn these things. This person can be younger than you and just have like a whole lot of like life experiences where they've grown up very quickly and have a more wise look on life. Then you have the World coming out over here with brilliant success, a freedom to go in any direction, and a journey that's been completed. So your inner child is like pushing it over here. It's like, hey, if I can't get you to do it by myself, can you at least go and talk to somebody that can help you do it? This could also be for some of you seeing a counselor, for a few of you. But this, the World energy with being ready and having faith, this is like you guys are gonna have success at this. You're gonna be able to create, you're gonna be able to do multiple things, because some of you might have a fear of doing something because you have a lot of interests, and it makes you feel like, you know, hearing that thing like a jack of all trades and a master of none. Well, it's like, if you're only mastering one thing and that's it, like what else are you gonna do? It's like, why not explore and have a curious nature and really fall in love with doing things? Like, we're not meant to be perfect. Now, obviously, if you're a doctor and you're doing brain surgery, please don't be trying to play no guitar while you're doing brain surgery. Keep it as a hobby. But it's like, you know, being practical. We got the 6th house over here. Like, we know you got a whole lot of stuff, but just be practical where you're sticking it, is pretty much what it is. Definitely do it, just be practical with where you're putting it, which I think is what this energy is trying to teach you. And then you had these two come out together. You have Princess of Summer and Prince of Autumn. For some of you, this quite literally is getting into a relationship, or you're already in a relationship, because having like a literal like kind of couple thing come out, because the feminine is a lot more gentle and kind and like sensitive, but you know, not as experienced. And this is making me think of more the maiden energy. But this can definitely be a new relationship coming, because, you know, being invited to like groups, gatherings, and, you know, it doesn't necessarily have to start as like this crazy spark and be like an immediate romantic thing. It can be like just getting a really good friend, and then through that friend meeting somebody. It's like, or becoming friends with somebody and that turns into a relationship. This isn't like necessarily like just jump into a relationship like the Knight of Wands can do sometimes. And then having the Prince of Autumn come out with it, this is someone, even though the Princess of Summer is a little inexperienced, the Prince of Autumn is dependable and protective. It's like, and they have a good sense of humor. It's like you don't gotta, it's like, even though some people, maybe their sense of humor isn't to their taste, to you, they're gonna be hysterical. And they're going to be very protective of you. This person's also going to help you with, some of you might not like details too much, especially since you're being told the 6th house energy, which is Virgo energy, like being more detail oriented. Either it could flip. You got to see which energy is more yours. But the one who's more gentle and sensitive is going to be teaching the one that is more detail oriented and very dependable how to tap into their emotions, and the other one's going to teach the more emotional one to be more grounded. Now, whichever one you are in the situation, the first thing you're going to be doing is detaching a little bit and kind of getting a new point of view, and then inviting this energy in. Because some of you, it's literally like opening your mind and expanding and inviting the energy. Because stuff keeps coming out in pairs here. Because you get the 2 of Spring, and then King of Summer and High Priestess comes out. Then you get the World and Princess of Summer and Prince of Autumn come out. It's like there keeps being these energies with each other, like coming out together. Or it could be like these energies are you and someone else, like the High Priestess and the King of Summer. It's like you're feeling a little impulsive, but it's like meeting someone that brings out the other side of you and helps you trust it and express it. I mean, you guys could definitely be coming into a meeting of the minds with somebody, or a meeting of the soul, the heart, friend, relationship, soulmate. I really feel like whoever this is a soulmate of whatever type, but it's a soulmate. This is like a straight up soulmate, and your inner child's like, soulmate incoming is pretty much the message here. It's like you're gonna learn to do these things that soulmate's flying in here. So, and bottom of the, oh my god, I said soulmate flying in, and you guys have the 8 of Spring on the bottom, which is the 8 of Wands. So it's like you might be kind of stressed out. There's a lot of stuff happening. You're having to multitask, but then all of a sudden in comes, boom, a bunch of stuff. Now obviously you're having to make a bunch of decisions. It makes sense having the 8 of Wands come in, but this could also be known as Cupid's arrows for those of you that the soulmate's more romantic. It could be like quite literally like meeting that soulmate, feeling the connection but not being quite sure, and you just kind of start opening up to the person, or the person brings out that opening in you, purely because they're nice and sweet and they're very trusting. Like a lot of this is like learning to trust for you guys. So you might have gone through something where you really shut off and weren't allowing yourself to trust. But this person's coming in pretty quickly. So, for one, we got a lot of trust flying out everywhere, and then we got a lot of intuition flying out everywhere, and then your gifts are tied to your healing. Yeah. The reason that your inner child is so hell-bent on you understanding that you need to trust your intuition is because this is how you heal yourself. Off of your intuition, off of trusting it. Because then you trust the right people and you heal. You guys are like all up in some trust is your word of this pile. Yeah, some of you are very impatient. Be still, the answers are coming. And they're coming in fast. You guys got the freaking Eight of Wands. They're coming with this person too. Like the person coming in is actually bringing you a lot of these answers. They might help you like get more in touch with your gifts too, especially if you've been like not really understanding squat diddly about anything. And then you guys have others' pain is not your responsibility. This is coming in with some of those challenges that you guys have, those mountains you're climbing. You guys can't honor yourself if you're always thinking that other people, like some of you probably are very heavy empaths. If you're always feeling that other people's moods, other people's emotions are your responsibility, they are your fault. Either that or you're very highly sensitive. There is like this energy, we're feeling responsible for the way other people react around you. It's not even to you, it's around you. Like it becomes your responsibility to take care of it. To quell everything. And at the same time, you're burying your stuff. It's like you're not doing anything for yourself. It's like you're actually making it your responsibility so you don't have to focus on yourself. Okay. So you guys like having pairs come out. So we have It Will Get Better and Create From Your Heart. Which you guys had Create Your Own Path, and now you have Create From Your Heart. Which, I mean, it makes sense for that inner child to be like, hey, you need to create from where I am over here. But for some of you, really feeling like this tension and like it's so hard, and the first steps towards doing it and needing to trust, it's like it's going to get better. It's going to be hard, especially if it's something that you kept putting off and just putting into other things instead of facing it. It will be hard to get it started, but it gets better and you start opening up. And this creating from your heart, like this is with the world. It's brilliant success. It's like you being able to, okay, we're just going to keep telling you guys that you need to make yourself a priority here, like over and over again, but make your healing your priority. For some of you, this person coming in is going to show you just how much you've been neglecting yourself, and it's going to be like a big wake-up call. And there is freedom in expressing your truth. Expressing and healing is pretty much, I mean, but it's all about truth here. It's like being honest with yourself. And I'm just going to yell at you. No more excuses. Your inner child doesn't want to hear any more excuses. And this is all the colors, by the way. That the lower energy, all of the reds and the yellows and the oranges, and yeah, this it's like there's no more excuses here. We're not taking excuses anymore. We're not taking IOUs. We're not taking like rainy day checks or whatever. It's like, no, we're doing it now. So let's see what final messages you guys have here from your inner child. Your inner child's spunky, by the way. You have a spunky little inner child in there waiting. So we have peace. The stillness within is louder than your surroundings. Like I said, for some of you guys, you definitely cannot stand quiet. Oh, she's over here. She's the second pile that I'm going to be doing. So if you really liked her, there's probably a message for you in there. But this piece over here, some of you guys really hate the quiet. And the thing is, you have to, the only reason that you hate it is because you're not comfortable with yourself. If you can start doing this stuff where you're taking care of yourself, you're gonna really like want your peace and quiet. Like there's like a big shift that happens. Like you're not going to be able to stand all the chaos because you want that time for yourself. Whereas, you know, when you don't want to be alone with yourself, you'd rather invite the chaos. So it's like a big switch for you guys. Some more final messages for nice. Just together, self-love and destiny. Your worth can only be measured by the time you give to yourself, and destiny. Plant yourself in fertile soil, nurture your deepest desires, and watch your dreams grow. So with this self-care coming out, with you guys having this pain, tension, and mountains climbing energy, like you guys really just take it all on yourself when you should be pouring this into yourself. Like they are going to keep doing this regardless of you stepping in or not. You're wasting your energy. Pour that into yourself instead, and then ground yourself. You have a lot of things about being comfortable in your own stillness and being grounded. Plus you guys have all the lower chakras, which is like needing to be grounded and in your body over here. And you got courage. Come back here. I feel like you guys are running away. It's like, come back here. But do not be afraid to grow where there is only concrete. So some of you, the reason that you're not stepping out is because you feel like there's nowhere to step out to, and this is just saying like you are ready with the high priestess in the world and create from your heart. You have like all this energy telling you that you can do it. Like even if you feel like there's nowhere to do it, you are the fertile ground. You're the one that once you start taking care of yourself, that's all you need. It's just you got to step forward and believe in yourself. I really feel like whoever this person is coming in is really going to help you with that. Oh, okay. All these want to flip out together as your final messages. So, okay, this is a really sweet thing for the end for you guys, because I said your inner child's pretty spunky. But see, these three came out. So we have shatter, which you may feel broken, but that doesn't make you any less valuable. And then you have drowning. When the water seems too deep, lay back and allow yourself to float. And then unique. Be a wildflower among roses. Making sure that goes back down. I mean, that was like a final message right there in itself. And then bottom of the deck. What is your inner child? Like a Sour Patch Kid? But we got happiness. Joy is always with you, so open your senses to everything. Which is a very inner child thing. It's like just opening the senses of wonder and just being there and experiencing it. Now, this group was the Smokey Quartz with the rainbows going on in here. Now, Smokey Quartz is a very protective stone. It is one that really helps clear out negative energies, negative thoughts. It helps to ground you as well. It's something, it can help to quiet those intrusive thoughts, because it's almost like it brings a sense of calm to what's happening. It's also an energy that really helps with protection, and working through blockages, like clearing those, being more aligned, and really like being able to connect that grounded energy to opening up towards your intuition, because it's clearing out all of that. Also, with this being protective energy, it also has that connection to your guides, or however you resonate spiritually, angels, however you feel most connected, is something that creates alignment and resonance with that, so that way you feel closer, you have the faith because you're feeling more connected. But that's what I have for my Smokies, for your message from your inner child. Now, for my Opalite mermaids, I'm gonna stick you guys over here. Let's see what your inner child wants to say to you guys. What's the inner child got to say? I feel like you guys are like, it's just her sleeping is like a mellow energy, but at the same time very passive. Also, there might be more of a heart chakra energy here that needs healing, because it's almost like she's really holding her hearts over her, her hands over her heart as she sleeps, like she's protecting it. Okay. She's over there sleeping, and we got dreams do come true. Some of you guys are very big dreamers, but you're kind of losing hope in this. Your inner child's screaming, do not let go of it, pretty much. It will happen. Like, some of you guys definitely... Oh my gosh, guys, I was just saying she's holding her heart while she's sleeping, and you hold your heart with compassion. Okay, like, you guys are a really sweet, sensitive bunch. Claim your abundance. It's yours. So, you guys are definitely, it's almost like you guys have, like I said, and they're getting greens, like that's the heart, pinks and greens, like the heart chakra. You guys really have this thing where, it's like your confidence is mixing in to this loving energy you have, but what's happening is the green is usually the love for other people. Now, your confidence comes from this love you show other people and their reaction to the love. But at the same time, you believing in yourself and in your own dreams needs more nurturing. It needs more love. Like, the blending of this compassion for yourself needs to have both the green and the pink. It needs to come together. And the thing is, you're not claiming your abundance. If anything, what you're doing is you're reaffirming that other people have theirs and you're happy for them. And it's like, when you hear claim your abundance, it's like you're sitting here like, I'm going to sleep on myself, is pretty much what's happening over here. You guys gotta hug a tree. You guys are like this little softy group, because this is funny because the hug a tree thing is what it's making me think of is like an affectionate person, but it's like you're hiding the affection behind like this rigid bark kind of energy. Because one thing when I was creating this card that stuck out to me after I made it was this little like thing in here, this white part. And I always see it and I think of a fairy dancing. I don't know why, but when I see it, that's what I feel from it. Is the fairy dancing. And it's like, it's a very carefree, it's a very light energy. And it's like your inner child's like, what are you doing with this? You threw it somewhere. You need to go find your tree and dance like the crazy fairy you are, because it's like you're all about the other people, but it's like you're holding your heart closed because you're afraid of what will happen when you let yourself literally roam freely over here. And once again, you're having more greens coming through. It's like you're ready to go and give this love to other people, but it's like you're really like, oof, okay, hello. This just popped out. Trust yourself, guys. The thing like attacked me. And there's a car alarm going off. I'm done with this group already. We're a few cards in and you guys are getting like 50 confirmations out of one card. Your little fairy senses are tingling and you're feeling like, yes, this is like really hitting home, and you're trying not to listen. You just got yelled at to wake you up. I feel like this isn't focusing, but you guys definitely have, you're an interesting little bunch. Dream bigger. See, when I saw this, I was sitting here thinking like, you guys are dreamers and like visionaries and all this beautiful energy. I mean, with this little moon, she's like sleeping on the moon. She's a mermaid on the moon, which means she'd be a mermaid in space. Like, how far out there is that with a dreaming bigger energy? Like, you guys are like being told, think so far out of the box that it doesn't exist. Like, just go completely like ham with it. Trust yourself and dream bigger, because it's gonna happen. Claim it. Right there, right in smack in the middle. Claim it. Sweet release. Bottom of the deck. This is like, and the thing is, more pink. This is a very, I'm trying to show you guys, but it's a very like, I can't even show you guys how pink this thing is because of the lighting. But it is like a very sweet, like bubblegum, hot pink kind of thing. I don't know if I can even show you guys the pinks in it. But it's really, oh gosh, focus down to here. There we go. But it's a very very sweet pink, sweet release over here. This is you guys like letting go and learning to love yourselves. Like, this is that self-care, and being able to have that compassion for your own heart like you do for other people. Because you guys readily give your heart to other people, even though you're closing it off. It's more like you're closing it off to yourself so your dreams don't hurt you. So we got South Node, destined to release. So we got two. You're destined, and look at all the pinks and purples in this card. You're destined to release the fact that dreams don't come true. They come true all the time. They really do. And I feel like for this group in particular, it's like they are supposed to. You just need to throw out the thing that it's not supposed to. You guys are really like hibernating. It's not even sleeping on yourselves, you're hibernating on yourselves. It's been a while. She's made out of opalite. So you guys also have house 3 with early learning, childhood, almost said relatives, but it could be that too. Childhood relations, the rational mind, and communication. So for some of you, what's happening is instead of holding your heart, you're rationalizing the living hell out of everything. And that's why it's like, this won't work. It's like you're coming up with everything there is and you're not letting go of why it won't work. And this is something you learned early on. This isn't something that all of a sudden popped into your head one day. You learned early on that you were made to feel like your dreams couldn't happen, that they were not practical, that you need to be more logical, that you need to actually think. Like, you might have been told, like, instead of daydreaming, you need to at least think and get some things done. You could have been one of those students that were not able to easily focus, so people really didn't like understand you, but it's because you're so creative. And it's like your mind is like this freaking amazing, abundant ground for things to just grow out of, like crazy imaginative things, which is why you're being told to dream bigger instead of thinking they don't come true. Is because your imagination is like a big gift that you guys have, and your inner child's over here like, what are you doing with this? Like, your inner child's over here like really wanting to come out and talk. I mean, you got the 3rd house of communication over here. Like, it's a talkative one. You guys have a talkative inner child, and more than likely you were a talkative child until someone told you that you needed to be quiet, that what you had to say didn't matter, and that you need to just like, made you feel like you can't trust yourself, like you can only do something if someone gives you permission. This is like, you need to release this thing that you can't go after your dreams without someone giving you permission, because this is something that was built on when you were young. It's not the truth. Like, you were made to feel this way, possibly by somebody that felt inadequate or felt like, you know, it's not possible, when in reality it is, especially now. Oh, okay, that wanted to come out for you guys. What the heck is up with this group? We got Neptune, Dream and Transcend. Well then. I mean, we were only a few cards in, and this group got like 5 confirmations and 1 card coming out. And then it's like, we're just going to reconfirm Dreams with Dreams and Neptune with the Mermaid over here. There's even a freaking seashell. I mean, you guys dream about this life, but the thing is, you don't claim it. You can probably completely envision this entire thing coming to light, like it happening, but then as soon as you see the full picture of what it would look like, you go, but it can't happen. If you can see the entire freaking thing, why can't it happen? If you can do it to the last minute detail of how this works out, why can't it happen? Do I need to tell you guys about Beyonce again? Or did you guys pick the same pile where Beyonce imagined her whole concert and did it and it was great? Like, do you guys need that pep talk? Were you the same pile from the other thing? Because I know I did another reading. I can't remember. Maybe it was my freaking talents. It was probably my one with the inner child talents. If you guys keep picking the pile with Beyonce, I swear. But it's like, let's bring up Beyonce once every inner child reading, and it's that pile that keeps getting her. And then we have Venus with give and receive love, find value and see beauty. Like, see how this says give and receive love? You guys give love. You give it. But do you allow yourselves to receive it? Do you find value in yourself and what you want to do? Do you see the beauty in the things you're creating at all? Do you see any of these things? And we got another freaking seashell for you people that chose the mermaid. Let's just keep getting confirmations over and over again. Fixed hand. Talk to the hand. I said some of you guys really got told to be quiet. And this talk to the hand energy, I haven't even read what it says, but just seeing the hand is like this big talk to the hand energy. Like, I don't want to hear you. You need to hush. Children need to be seen, not heard. Like, all this kind of energy right here. And being forced to just keep your dreams to yourself. So, fixed energy is stability, persistence, loyalty, and dependability. So, instead of you guys being able to be creative, you had to be the ones that were dependable. You had to be the ones that people could lean on, the ones that were the stability when things were chaotic. It was put on your shoulders, no matter what your age was. It was just thrown on you. And oh, you're welcome, hon. But this energy is like people knew that they could put stuff on you and you would take care of it. And it's almost like instead of seeing all the beauty, it's like they only saw like what they created out of you, which was like this practically natured, like really honed, like it's almost like they created like a little mini fixer. Like they had you going around and doing the like fixed. They created a little mini fixer that could go around doing everything that they needed that they lacked because they saw your potential, but then they made you feel like you didn't have any. They could see your potential. And you have Pluto. Transform. Like, so you guys have transcend and transform. I mean, you might as well just get up and roll out at this point. Like, what the hell? I swear, this group, you're getting so much planet energy. I'm done, Ruby. Did you choose this group? Huh? Did you choose this group, Ruby? With this Virgo on the bottom of the deck? Because I swear if you chose this group. But we have Virgo energy over here with integrity, reverence, and service. And I was literally saying that you were created to be this dependable, service-oriented energy. And the whole time I was thinking of Virgo moon, and I didn't say it because I have a Virgo moon and this happened to me. But it's like your Virgo moon energy, if you have a straight up Virgo moon, it could be a Virgo Venus, it could be like you have a Virgo ruled third house, Virgo south node, but you guys were like put in, if you don't have to be a Virgo, but I was like just this bottom of the deck Virgo energy was like screaming to be acknowledged. But it's like being the one that's always at the service of other people instead of giving anything to yourself will definitely make you feel like all of your worth comes from helping others claim their abundance or helping others achieve their dreams. Instead of you feeling like your dream is anything, it's like your dream should be other people reaching their dreams, and that's not true. You need to dream beyond that. You need to dream for yourself. And just because you're doing something for yourself doesn't mean it's not a service to other people. This group, I feel like anything you create would be a big service to other people, just purely because of where it comes from. I mean, it's coming from Neptune and Venus and Pluto energy. This is such transformative energy that it's like whatever you put out, this is going to stick with people with this fixed energy. It's like whatever you choose to communicate, to put out, once you release this feeling that you can't do it, is going to stick with people. It's going to transform them. It's going to transform their views of what love looks like, what value and beauty looks like. It's going to make people want to dream bigger instead of like sitting in this small space. So let's see what the fairies have to say. Oh my gosh, you picked this pile. I already have cards flashing in my head, and I swear if those cards come out because you picked this pile, Ruby. We have the Princess of Summer with gentle, like I said, this is a very sweet group. Very gentle, sweet energy. And this is, Princess of Summer is that gentle, sensitive, kind person that is always there. Like someone who is compassionate, who is a great friend, is always willing to be the one to make someone feel comfortable because they know what it feels like to not feel comfortable. But the thing is, at the same time, there's this inexperienced or this naive side that comes with this. And that's because you don't realize your own potential. Like, it's not like you're naive in the sense that you haven't experienced things, because you've experienced life and what it's done, but you're naive to your own potential because it's almost like you can't let go of the fact that people told you you don't know enough, or it's like you were never enough to the people. But in reality, they just didn't feel like they were enough and they projected that onto you. That is not the case here. This is something that you are destined to release with this South Node energy. You are not meant to carry around their shame, their guilt, their insecurities. This isn't what you're meant to do. You're out here to dream these beautiful dreams and create these things. And I think I paper cut myself with a freaking card, cut myself with a card. I don't know which card it was, but I did. But you guys are out here like destined to create things that help people realize what they want to do, like find beauty and value in themselves, and learning that giving and receiving love can look different. For some reason, like, you guys make it look different, and it's really going to transform how people look at things. It's definitely going to make you have to like kill off a part of something over here with this release, this idea you guys have. You have unity coming out to do the right thing for the right reason. Compare traditional versus new approaches to see which works for you. A spiritually minded community. So having this community energy come out with the third house and Neptune, this is, okay, there's a few messages with this. For one, childhood community, where you come from community. It's quite possible that the spirituality that you are pursuing is not widely accepted by where you come from. You could feel outcast, like you're the black sheep, and like what you're doing is neglecting where you come from by deciding to pursue something that actually speaks to you. It speaks to your soul. Now, being given the advice of doing the right thing for the right reason. Now, being brought up to being a caregiver. There's a big difference in being a natural caregiver and just what you want to do, and being groomed into being a caregiver. When this is what you are made, or someone has like created you to do, because for some reason people decide to have children and feel like they're the things that fix relationships, or they fix the fact that another child's acting up. It's like they put that pressure on a new child to be the one that fixes everything. Now, when this energy comes up, because this is your inner child wanting to talk about this energy is like, you need to really go after what connects to you and your soul and your spirituality, because the reason a lot of things are so blocked off is you feeling the guilt over leaving behind these childhood things that you learned that were the correct spirituality, the correct religion, or the correct way to think or act. You guys are being told to kind of compare what makes you happy. Because just because you don't agree with everything doesn't mean you have to completely leave it behind. There might be things you like from childhood and things you don't. Take what resonates with you, just like when you're listening to tarot readings. Take what resonates with you. If there's things from your childhood and a religion you were brought up in that really resonate with you, but then the other stuff you just don't connect with, there is nothing nowhere saying that you can't do that. There might be social constructs that are like, oh, that doesn't go. Who cares, honestly, what people are saying you can and can't do. It's your life, your body, your soul, your heart, your everything. You are the one living with yourself, so you're the one that needs to be happy. And if you're not in unity with yourself, then it's like you're always going to be in constant turmoil. You're always going to be super heavily laden with the weight of the world because you feel like you're not doing the right thing. You're doing right by yourself to do what you love, to follow your passions and to follow your dreams and to actually want to do something bigger than what you were told you could. That is doing the right thing for the right reason. It's not like you're going out and trying to harm anybody. It's not like you're stepping on people to get to where you need to go. This is you allowing yourself to unfold and to blossom in a way that you're not judging yourself because you're doing something different than what you were taught to do. And also, this is for a lot of you, by stepping out of this energy, you're actually starting, one of the things you're claiming in abundance is an actual community that understands you. Some of you are more, see, this is the thing with some of you, you're not, like, when it comes to your creativity and your dreams, it's, this is really interesting. You guys won't claim abundance in that direction, but you guys are all about claiming some abundance with some really great relationships. Like the spiritual minded ones that you connect with, it's like you guys can manifest those like it's no one's business, and you can just connect to them, and it's like you manifest your soul family. It's just there. And it's like you'll claim that. It's like, I love my people. But it's like you claiming your own thing, where it's like your own particular independent thing away from the community, is like this far-fetched concept. Even though you guys are like machines at bringing in your people. Like, it's like you don't even have a second thought about it. It just happens. Because it's like, it's happening regardless. It's pretty much what's happening with you. But it's like anything outside the realm of the correct people coming to you, you don't let it go further than that. You don't ask for help. You don't ask if people can help do this for you. You don't want to be a burden. It's like you guys are like, I just love having my people. I don't need anything else. When in reality, dream bigger. Dream bigger. If you feel like someone can help you with something, ask. You offer up help. Why don't you ask for help? No one's going to know you need help because you seem so self-efficient, because that's what you were brought up to exude, even if you didn't feel that way. You were brought up to hide your emotions, even if you were really feeling awful. So it's good to like break down those boundaries. Show that you're sensitive. Show like all these things about yourself, instead of feeling like, oh, I gotta be the freaking tree over here. I gotta be the strong, rigid tree that doesn't show the soft, gooey center. The Emperor. Can you see this dude? He has a heart in the world in this card. Like, he's holding a heart in the world. I'm gonna laugh if you guys somehow get a countdown, because so far you got 5, 4, I swear if it keeps going. But this right here is pretty much what I was just saying. This is saying using some logic and structure to increase your success. And it's like you guys have called in your people, or you're in the process of it and you don't even know it, or they're already there and you have no idea, but your people are there. And this energy is like, instead of trying to do it all yourself and not asking for help and all this other stuff, why not ask other people if they want to do it with you? If you've been made to feel like you're the one that has to do everything, more than likely it's the opposite to get your dreams actualized. Because when you grow up feeling like you need to be the only one doing things, it's because they're suppressing the fact that you are a great, like, how can I put this? You're pretty much like a sun, and you can pull people to you by just lighting up and being yourself, like this heart over here, like the world. It's pretty much like, think of the heart like the sun and the world's revolving around the sun. Like, you have everything, and you have both of them in your hands, and you're creating with them. But at the same time, it's like, it's telling you, like, you're probably great at doing this shit for other people, especially being organized, having that Virgo thing on the bottom of the deck. But it's like, do it for yourself. And it's like, you can lead without being domineering. I feel like some of you don't want to step up and lead because what you were led by as a child was very domineering and very authoritative. And it's like, I don't want to do that to people. But you have to realize you can lead and be compassionate and sweet and gentle. You don't have to lead with a freaking sword and go around wielding it everywhere. This person literally has a scepter with the world on it, and he's holding a heart. He's not going around wielding a sword or anything. He's chilling with all the love in the world, quite literally, sitting here. And it's like getting things done, but still being kind and sincere while doing it. And it's like directing people in that way. You don't have to be this person that you watched growing up, and you don't have to be afraid of repeating their mistakes. You being aware of it and knowing you don't want to do it already puts you like miles ahead of not doing it. Boom! Ace of Spring is gonna come out here swinging. Look at her with her tree growing. Hug a tree, and you guys growing a tree with the Ace of Spring. But this is telling you guys to take some action. Pursue your most treasured dreams. Literally, this card says word for word on here. Be fearless and happily pursue your most treasured dreams. It's not just saying pursue them. It says be fearless and happy while you do it. Like, just go for it. And there's amazing career opportunities on this too. It's like, you guys are freaking magnets for this, but you're not allowing it because you were told that wasn't your place, and that your place in the world is being a stepping stone for other people, and it's not true. You guys, like, literally are growing trees out of the freaking ground over here, and I said that reminds me of the fairy, and you have the little Ace of Wands dancing around the tree over here. Yeah, you guys are definitely, like, very gentle, sweet, caring, curious spirits. And you're surrounded by those too, even if they can be cheeky. Like, you're surrounded by this kind of energy, and it wants you to create. It wants you to trust your visions and not lose sight of those. It wants you to depend on yourself more instead of feeling like, like going back to that thing where you feel like you can't do it. Ten of Winter. So this would be Ten of Swords, right? But the way this deck writes the description is very important for you guys, because it says the resolution of difficulties, a weight lifted off of your shoulders, the end of an addiction or codependency. Now, you guys have Pluto and fixed energy over here. Now, for some of you, if it's an addiction, it's because it was trying to get away from all this weight that was put on you, and it was the only way you could escape. And be more compassionate with yourself if that's the case, because you did what you could with everything you were handed. You did the best you could. So being more gentle with yourself and understanding that through transformation and this healing, you can overcome this. You're not destined to, especially if it's something that runs in your family, like, oh, one thing that I hear a lot is alcoholism runs in the family. If you want to work through the healing and get to the bottom of why it runs in your family, usually it's because there's some kind of trauma that was passed down, and then they watched the parent deal with it by drinking. So in turn, they take up the same thing. It's like any kind of vice like that. Codependency could literally be they raised you to be the fixer or be the one who is dependable and the caretaker and all these things. And it's like now you have this codependency where you don't feel anything of value for yourself unless you're just giving all your energy into something else or into someone else instead of focusing yourself. This is you coming to realize and transform through ending these things. And then you go from the 10 of winter to the king of winter. Like, get some knowledge up in here. So this is getting advice from someone professional and objective. This is also oh my gosh, I'm gonna put like 5 words together. But this is also public speaking and unemotional relationships. Now, for some of you, these unemotional relationships is you learning to detach from this codependency, from this thing that was stuck on you when you were young, so that way you can be objective about it. Because as it is, your heart is like, you're like so protective over your heart, yet you give it everywhere, even though it keeps hurting you. And that's why you would rather like just be in your own kind of like escapism. And that could be a thing too, like this thing I keep hearing with you guys, sleeping on yourselves, can be the way you escape. It could be your escapism. And that's one of your addictions, is escaping from trying to actually go through the healing, from going through finding out. Because in a way you're going to realize that what was placed on you, even if you really, because this can happen too, if you really love your family and this kind of stuff was placed on you and you have a very deep love for them, you going through this and realizing that how can I put this? It's like a lot of times when this happens, they'll make it to where you feel proud of being the one that takes care of everything, that you should feel proud that you're the one that somehow, when you're 10 years old, found a way to pay the rent when they were sitting there smoking something. But it's like this, it's like you should be proud that you helped me out. And it's like, then they're the ones that are like, I'm always sacrificing this, that, and the other thing for my children. And like you're sitting there like wondering like why you're a shadow, until like it's like you're almost in the shadows until you're called out to do your duty. Like, be the dutiful child. You were born to do this. And it does a lot of damage to where you have to find a way to detach, because it's hard to understand what love is. And I think that's why you guys have this Venus energy here about giving and receiving love, because your idea of love is warped. Like, what you're supposed to do in order to receive love is warped. Now, you guys give love very freely in all directions, but you accepting it, especially from yourself, is like very misconstrued. It's been made into this thing where you're not deserving of it unless you're fulfilling a role. And the thing is, you're worthy of love regardless. It does not matter what you are doing. You could be freaking sleeping. You are worthy of love, okay? Like, you could be on the toilet. You are worthy of love. Like I'm saying, you guys don't... This really hits home for me, because this is something that I have personal experience with. And it's really hard to work through this when you have so much creativity and you were made to feel like it was useless because it would not make money, and then it was taken from you because your childhood was turned into you being a nurse, or turned into you being the one that found a way to keep a roof over your parents and your siblings' head, or being the one that made sure there was food in the house. It's like, and it wasn't like it was brought to you as a teenager or anything. It was dropped on you from a very young age. And when I'm saying young, I'm saying like anywhere from the ages between 3 and 6. It was just freaking chunked on you. And you had to grow up in it very rapidly. It wasn't even like you had a childhood. It was like any kind of childhood memories you have, more than likely, if they're happy ones, you might have like 5 of them and it's all you can remember. And that's probably because that's all there were, because everything else was you constantly in this survival mode of what can I do to make things better? What can I do to make others more comfortable? Because that was the role you were given. And if you didn't fulfill it, you weren't given affection, you weren't given attention, possibly you weren't given the necessities to survive, actual physical necessities, depending on how dark this was. So hi Anna. So your inner child is really trying to come out and tell you that you are worthy of all of this. You don't have to be constantly fitting into something, constantly giving, constantly throwing. It's like you were from a very young age groomed into being a martyr that cannot say they are a martyr. You're made into someone that has to willingly give up their dreams for the sake of other people. And the only abundance you can claim is the fact that people want to be around you because you give so much of yourself to them. And this was nurtured into you, if you want to even use that word. But it was the environment created for you. And the only way you could flourish, or people would give you anything that you really needed as a small human, was by fulfilling this role. Now, it's really hard because when this happens, it's like a personal responsibility to love them in every state, is kind of what you're brought up to feel. You have to love them in every state they're in. Like, you are brought up to be unconditional love. And that's why it hurts so much, is because you are forced into this thing where you love everyone with no matter what they do. It doesn't matter how horrible they treat you. It doesn't matter how much they just mess up your life or anyone else's life. Like, you are raised to love unconditionally. It's like you are pushed into this area where it's like against your will, you're made to love this way. And then it just naturally becomes you, and you don't even realize how much of yourself you are just allowing to flow and waste off into nothing, especially into relationships that aren't healthy for you, because they will take they will take until there's nothing, and then they just up and split. It's pretty much what it is. And the thing is, when you find people who are actually giving back, it feels so unnatural, so you try to give more. And the only way to work through this is like this King of Swords energy. It's like, you're fair. You're way more than fair, to be honest with you. You've experienced pain. You've experienced these different things. You've learned to grow through them. You have a lot of knowledge through growing through these things. But at the same time, the only way to start detaching yourself from this dependency that you have, where your value is literally in what you do, is by learning to detach yourself slowly from the relationships that formed this. Because the thing is, even if you remove yourself from the environment, or you, no matter what you do with it, like, it's gonna sit with you until you allow yourself to emotionally, mentally, spiritually remove yourself. And it's a lot different than just picking up and being at another house. Like, you can move across the freaking world and it will still be sitting on you. And unless you do this work where you allow yourself to be objective and kind of pull back, and this is a lot about taking your own power back too, because pretty much all your power was siphoned and put into you being a caregiver when you actually had so much to give. So all of your giving went to that instead of creating all this beautiful stuff for the world. That it's like, you guys naturally want to give to people, and that's why it was so easy to curate this environment for you to be a caregiver. That's why people could take advantage of it so easily. It's not like you guys are going to drop this if this is what you guys are afraid of by being more objective. This is a part of your soul, and you're a compassionate, beautiful, sensitive person by nature. It's not going to go away because you're deciding to create boundaries for yourself so you can heal. You're not going to lose that. So if that's the reason why you're scared, just start moving into this and start creating more distance with the relationships that pretty much created your identity. Realize you're going to be who you are regardless of who you detach and who you're attached to. And that's like a big way of taking your power back. Because once you can become unfazed, which it takes a long time, it's not going to be like some overnight miracle thing. So if it's taking you time, especially with fixed energy here, this is like, it takes time. It's not going to be some lickety split thing. What was done needs to be undone in a healthy way, not just by ignoring it. So let's see. I know I said a lot in that one, but there's still more cards. This group has so many messages. So we got trust the weird ideas. Which is very true for this group. You, like I said, you guys have your own little dreamy, I mean, Neptune and Venus and Pluto are here. You guys have a very dreamy energy to you. I mean, it's the freaking Opalite Mermaid moon over here. Like, this is a very, like, imaginative, otherworldly energy. So you're going to have some weird ideas. So do it. Trust yourself. Do it. Be unconventional. It's more... It's great. Oh my gosh, guys. What did I say? It does not matter if you're sleeping, you're on the toilet. It don't matter what you're doing. You are deserving of love. You even get the card where the R is screaming at you, like capital A-R-E. You are deserving of love. You... Oh my goodness. This is the group that makes me want to cry. Because it's like... It hits really close to home. And it's really messed up when you're robbed of your childhood because you're forced to grow up to take care of those who gave you life. What did I say earlier? What did I say to you guys earlier with the you did the best you could? None of this was your fault. I swear if you guys get that card too, I don't even... This was in my mind. Like, this card, you did the best you could, was sitting in... Like, it was in my mind the whole time when I started pulling your guys' stuff out. You're the priority. Make your healing your priority. Number one. First thing you do. You guys are important. This crap where you were told to hush and play your part and do your role. Otherwise, you wouldn't get whatever they were going to give you, whatever scraps of affection or attention or food or whatever it was, because this is a lot of messed up energy. But whatever it was, you're the priority now. You're deserving of love. And if you feel guilty about anything that you were trying to do at this age when they were doing this, if anything, you went above and beyond. There is no you did the best you could. You went above and beyond what you were supposed to do. And so you were stunted. You weren't allowed to explore your dreams. And now exploring them, you feel guilty. When in reality, like, there's nothing to feel guilty about because you were robbed of this. This is you taking it back. Your life is filled with never-ending creative opportunities. I told you guys are crazy with creativity. There's so much of it. And it's on the Ace of Wands too, sitting here with this Venus energy. Go hug a tree, my fairies. But, oh, thank you. Thank you so much for the 50, hun. Okay, you guys are gonna make me cry. Like, this, you always find strength, even when you feel broken. I love you too, Anna. Create without judgment. This is hitting really close to home, you guys. Dive within, but do not forget to come up for air. This is why you guys are so scared of doing this healing, is because it's almost like opening this up is like a Pandora's box situation. It's like, what is gonna come out? I feel like hell is gonna be unleashed if I open this box, and I'm not gonna be able to go back. The thing is, no, you cannot go back, but you don't want to. You don't want to go back to this place. You want to move away from this place. But always remember, even if you're going through all these transformations, even if you're changing and you're healing, you can always rest, guys. You can always rest. Because Pluto's a deep dive. You guys have Pluto over here. It's a very deep dive to go into Pluto energy. Never forget that you can take a break and come out and rest. And that's something, like I was saying, you're deserving of love even if you're sleeping. This little mermaid is sleeping on this moon over here. She don't care about this. Like, she's at peace and resting and holding her heart close because she knows it's important. You're welcome, hun. So, first we have out is boundaries. Only weeds can grow where there is no breathing room. And you guys got come up for air too. So you guys, it's like, don't rush yourselves. This is really heavy. And boundaries are going to be a big thing for you guys. That thing I was talking about with detaching and being objective is going to start with you guys being able to say what your boundaries are. It's going to be you finally releasing the fact that you have to do everything someone asks you and not being able to show your own emotions. A lot of your boundaries are going to come literally from you being able to how can I put this? It's not even talking for you guys. Even though you have the third house in communication, it's almost like your boundaries are going to be you allowing yourself to be vulnerable with yourself and what you actually need. because you can't create the boundaries you need. You can't have the space to breathe without you first understanding what you need. Because when this happens, you don't have any understanding of what you need. You know what everyone else needs. You're very hypersensitive to changes in people's emotions, in their energy, in their movements. It's like you can sense the tiniest little change in somebody because you were made to figure out what's wrong with everybody and fix it before it became anything. So you're already naturally tuned in to every little, how can I put this? It's like, I feel like this group is my group that it's hard for me to find words for too. It's like, it's a trauma response where you're always in survival mode. You're always looking out to see if you've offended, if you've created like some kind of wave or ripple, or even like breathed in the wrong direction. It's like you're always trying to look out for what you did wrong when you didn't do anything wrong. People just did not teach you boundaries, and if anything, they made you feel like you having boundaries made you worthless. So you're having to relearn that in claiming boundaries, you have worth. Like, the reason you're taking these boundaries is because you have worth, is because you deserve love regardless. And your weird ideas make you freaking awesome, so they can suck it. But this, it's really hard because love's wrapped up in it when you're brought up to do this. It's like you have an unconditional love for how screwed up these people are that did this to you, and it's like you have to fight through and detach yourself. And sometimes the boundaries come in the form of not talking to them anymore, because it's like they're not going to apologize. They're delusional. They never did anything. They didn't do anything. Or they don't remember it. Or you're too sensitive, or you're overreacting. It's like you have to be at peace with not getting an apology. I literally said you have to be at peace with not getting an apology, and we get peace. The stillness within is louder than your surroundings. Honestly, you guys probably fall asleep hearing your heart beating at night because like your thoughts are so loud. You guys need to make it to where this stillness and this peace is something you welcome instead of something you fear. Because the thing is, you guys don't want to be inside your own body. It's like you want to live through other people so you don't have to experience your own emotions. Your abundance is living within you. Like, this claim your abundance, this wasn't talking about money. This was literally talking about you claiming yourself. Like, you literally claiming the abundance of power that resides within you and just taking it back. We got bloviate. The wind is not the only one blowing hot air. Like I said, these people that did this, like, especially if they made it feel like, if they make it feel like it's your fault that they're sad or they're depressed or they're angry and you need to be the one that makes it better, freaking bloviate, dude. Bunch of hot air. Nothing but like blowing smoke up your ass. They can get their shit together just fine. I'm pretty sure if pretty much, okay, let's say for instance you have somebody that comes up and they're upset, but they're gonna make it feel like it's your problem and you have to fix it. Like, this is the person that's done this to you. It's a repeated thing. It's a codependency that's been thrown up in the air that needs to be, like, fixed, literally. So they're coming to you, they're saying they're sad and or they're mad or angry, and it's like the way they put it on you because of how you were brought up, you feel like it's your responsibility, and it's not. They would be fine even if you didn't do anything. They honestly don't care about it. They just like riling you up and making you into like the guard dog, or like, you know, go get them or whatever, like be the one that stands up for me so I feel important. It's a really big, like, it's a lie. It's a straight up lie. Like, and plus a lot of other things they told you were straight up lies. So if you're feeling bad about this whole trust yourself thing over here, like, always trust yourself. Like, there's a lot of trust with you guys, but it's with trusting yourself. Because you guys were made to feel like you couldn't. Because every time you felt something, you were made to feel like it was a bad thing. You should be ashamed. You should feel guilty. This was all a lie to keep you stifled, to keep you from moving on away from them. Because if you actually did move on away from them, they wouldn't have anyone to suck dry. It's pretty much what it is. They're dependent on your energy. Thanks for following, hun. And then we have courage. Wanting to come on my Opalite group. I know you guys have some courage in there. You can do it. Try not to... My shy little Opalites, you're gonna do this. I swear. Do not be afraid to grow where there is only concrete. I was not going to read this till this focused, because you guys over here need to dream bigger. Create without judgment. Like, this is you stepping forward and just being like, I'm going to grow wherever I want to, and you can't tell me not to. This is like, well, that rhymed, but you guys are doing this, and the way you're exerting boundaries is by allowing yourself to finally be free and do something you want. That is a boundary for you guys, because you guys just don't do that. You have to get like this confirmation or something that you can do it. Boundaries for you is literally doing something you want without getting the acceptance of other people, especially the ones that created this relationship. And then bottom of the deck, gratitude. Showing kindness is the best way to say thank you. So we're going to take a time and reflect here for those of you that this really hit home with. Whenever you do these things, has anyone shown you kindness? Like, actually shown you kindness, not just said thank you. Some of you might not even have got a thank you. But has anyone like shown you kindness without you having to fulfill this role? And if that is the case, where you only get kindness or you only get something from fulfilling the role they have created, this is showing you, yes, big red flag. This is the thing it's resonating with. There's your confirmation. Another car flew by. You guys, there's so many confirmations in this pile. It's freaking ridiculous. I don't even know. You guys, you were lied to, point blank. And it takes courage to go after what you want, after what you were made to believe is you were nothing without bowing down to other people and their ideals your whole life. It's like you don't even have your own truth, and that's what you're searching for. Before you can even have compassion for yourself, you don't even know what the hell your truth is, because you were force-fed what it's supposed to be. This Opalite, because this is my Opalite group. Little Opalite Mermaid. I want to talk not only about the crystal with this group, but I also want to talk about, because I honestly started getting messages just from the little mermaid herself over here. Opalite in itself is a crystal that shows a bunch of rainbows and just beautiful like coloring, but it's also very transparent. It is a very, I mean, just look at this. You could see straight through this thing. And see that, sorry, I didn't mean to bump the camera. But you can see, like, there's the finger, like, right there. You could see through the crystal. And this transparency is the vulnerability that you guys are, like, really holding back because it's a weakness. You shouldn't show that. You need to cater to my feelings. Like, you know, all those voices that come flying in that tell you that when you're sensitive, like, you know, you're not doing anyone a service. You're not worthy of love when you're being sensitive or crying. Like, I'll give you something to cry about. This kind of energy is, like, really stuck with you guys. Especially mentally. It is, like, really stuck in your mental body. So you allowing yourself to actually express your emotions, to actually be sensitive and vulnerable is going to be a huge way of reclaiming your power. Especially if you guys don't let yourselves cry. Also, Opalite is all about connecting to your guides, trusting, letting them help you. Really allowing yourself to release these things that really sit heavy on your heart because it's such a light crystal. It brings a light energy to where it's almost like a buoyance where you're like floating in the water, which this group had Neptune, a mermaid, and there was a lot of things going on over here with you guys with this water energy and Pluto's Scorpio water energy. So there was just a lot of water here, but a lot of depth, and you guys needing to remember that you need to breathe. Don't just suffocate under the depths over there. Like, you guys can come up for air. You guys can claim your abundance, which is your own power residing within you. Everything else will follow it. Like, you guys are beautiful souls, and you do not need to be sitting here and letting this trifling freaking jealous energy keep stifling that the rest of your life. Okay. Ooh, I'm gonna take a drink of water. Okay. That was my Opalite Mermaid group. That was a lot more than I was expecting, but you know, things come out the way they're supposed to. Next up is my little rose quartz fairies. You're welcome, hon. You guys that chose the little rose quartz fairy. I'll put you guys over here. You guys are naughty little ones that try to like run off. So let's see. What messages does your inner child have for you, my little rose quartz fairies? Well, we're going to have some more compassion for yourself here. I'm not going to say anything about the rose quartz until after, but if those of you that do know rose quartz properties, that's already linking up with it. Oh, jeez. Okay. Be true to your heart's desire. And this one was trying to fall out with it all weird. Okay, trying to fall out all weird. Open yourself to the signs. Yeah, of course it's trying to fall out weird. It's trying to be a sign all by itself. Your signs come in very weird. True success comes only when you care what you think. What you think. I need to put the right emphasis on the syllable, you know? But, some of you guys go back and forth a lot. Your gifts are awakening. You guys go back and forth a lot with, my gosh, painful truth. Okay, I'm going to leave this out here for a second because we're going to talk about some stuff. right smack dab in the middle, this thing is trying to tell you to open yourself up to some signs and signals here. It's almost like your Wi-Fi is coming in spotty and you're getting like mixed things going on or getting little bleeps and blurps of it. And you guys are way too hard on yourselves with this. When things are starting to like kind of awaken and come up, no matter if it's psychic, artistic, whatever it is, don't be hard on yourselves when this is happening, especially if you're like, oh, it's not like how so-and-so does this. It's like, who cares how so-and-so does it? So-and-so is not you. So-and-so is not going to come into your life and like mystically start lifting things up and make you like on a pedestal or something. So it doesn't really matter what so-and-so can do. You guys are coming into your own gifts that are unique, that you need to start honoring more. Because the thing is, you guys are very harsh on yourselves. That's why the first thing coming out is compassion, because the thing is, you guys are over here just like feeling like being harsh to yourselves and like completely putting yourselves down is the way to go. But in reality, the reason that's coming through is because you're caring so much about what other people are thinking. And just that you're different. Like, that's not how it works for me. Why doesn't this work for me? And it's like you're getting like really bent out of shape about it because you can't find out where you fit. You can't find out how to hone your gifts because where the hell am I supposed to read about this? Where's the video on it? And the thing is, you're not going to understand them until you stop looking to other things for answers. Because the first thing you need to start doing is being kinder to yourself instead of talking so bad to yourself. Like, your inner child's over here like, why the hell are you trash talking me so much? Like, it's pretty much what this energy is. It's like, there is no rhyme or reason to be this hard on yourself because you're not like somebody else. You're not supposed to be like them. You're supposed to be successful in your own right, not because you're over here trying to... There's nothing here about fitting into anything. This is you. There's so much you here. And the painful truth is, you're not listening to you. You're ignoring you. You're listening to everything that's not you, and that's why you're being told to open up to you. Literally. You're you, everything in here. You guys have like this... You guys really throw away a lot of opportunities simply because it doesn't look the way you feel it should. Or you throw it away because it's not good enough, even though it's like the people that you want to like it aren't liking it, so you throw it away. When in reality, you're not going to be everyone's cup of tea. Hell, you might not even be the person that you want to get their attentions of cup of tea, or they might just not like the fact that you're better at it than them because the way you do it is different. If everyone's doing something the same thing, like it's a freaking, like, I don't know, how should I put this? It's like, I wanted to say a sheep show, but it didn't make sense. But then again, okay, let's break it up a little bit. It's like following a herd, but then being put on display. So it's like doing the same thing as a mass group on display. I think the best way I can probably give a description of this is like how people copy everyone's dances to the same song on TikTok or something. It's like, if you freaking struggle like crazy trying to recreate the dance steps on TikTok or recreate how they jump into clothes or whatever the hell they do copying the algorithm over there, this could be you being like, I can't do the same thing, but then the way you do it is really unique because no one else is going to be able to replicate it. That's the things that get attention, is the ones that can't be replicated. Everyone's like, oh, like they did the same exact thing. You can go through it real quick. Like, wait, that's different. That's what catches attention. You guys are focusing too hard on how you can't replicate something and how yours looks different, and then you don't show it. You guys need to just show it. You need to not care what other people are thinking. And you have Chiron. You guys are over here like hurt and heal with this Chiron energy. You guys, you have a lot of pain, and the thing is, you're not giving back to yourselves. You're feeling like a failure. It's like you guys might have tried to walk in the footsteps of other people and it didn't work out, whether that's family, friends, mentors, whatever it is. It could have been a favorite celebrity. For you guys, you have people you look up to, and then it's like you feel like you love what they do so much that it's what you want to do, and you're not realizing you have your own unique abilities that are so important, that the more you're caring about trying to get the attention of someone else or trying to replicate someone else, the more you're taking away from yourself, the more you're causing these things to come up that you need to heal from before you can even embark on what you're doing. And we have House 9 with spiritual growth. You guys are definitely, this is like a journey for you guys. I feel like some of you, this might be either the first time you started kind of looking into working with your inner child, or possibly you haven't done it that much, because you just starting to do this is going to be huge spiritual growth for you. And when that's the case, usually it's because you've been trying so hard that you're ignoring the inner child, and it's been trying to come through in what you're doing. But then once you start acknowledging it and seeing that there's hurt there because it's been ignored, you start growing and you start healing and you start opening up and you start being kinder to yourself. And then we have House 12 with spirituality, transcendence, karma, sacrificial service, and healing. Once again, more healing. Like I was saying, you guys are sacrificing your own selves to try to follow something. But the thing is, you guys are over here being told, like, you need to, like, open yourselves up. And we have a siren coming down the street. You need to open yourselves up. And that your gifts are awakening. Like, there's all these things where spiritual growth, spirituality, transcendence, karma, there's so many things trying to come in right now. But you're so caught up on the look, the aesthetic, or possibly even what other people are telling you to do, because that could be a thing here too. If you have people that are supposed to be helping you and they're telling you something but it doesn't feel right, but you're still doing it, it's going to be you sacrificing what would make you happy. And you're not going to heal by doing that. You're just going to create more wounds for yourself, more blockages. You have opposition coming in with imbalance, a point of tension, and a power struggle. So, like I said, this is where you guys are struggling. It's a complete imbalance between what you know you want to do and between you doing instead what others like. You guys don't need to do that. And plus you're just making it to where you're feeling more imbalanced in yourself too. It's just making you unhappy. And we got House 3 with early learning, childhood relations, the rational mind, and communication. So this could have been something you guys learned early on. That, imitation is the highest form of flattery. It could have been that you guys were surrounded by authoritative figures, that the way they got noticed was through, copying other people. So this was like something you picked up like a sponge when you were young. And it's something that you carried even though you're individual. Even if this worked for somebody else, even if in your family they copied something and it worked for them, this does not mean, or it could be literally there's like this tradition of everyone being this, and this, and this in the family, and you're over here like, but I want to do something different. And You're throwing away what your true success, what your true desire would be by following that, even though you can feel that you have all this potential and it's being thrown away into something that you're not even passionate about. And you have conjunction, a union merging and coming together. Telling you, it's all coming together for you guys. Like, you guys have some divine timing at play. Because there's a lot of, 12 is very spiritual, 9 is very spiritual, so is Chiron. You have these gifts awakening, signs. There's a lot of things here trying to tell you guys that you're coming into a time right now where things are opening for you. There are opportunities coming in for you. But if you're trying to replicate or emulate or do any of this stuff that other people are doing, you're going to miss out on these things. Because this is your time for coming into union with what you actually want to do. It's in coming into union with your gifts, not into union what other people feel your gifts are. And you guys have the moon. Satisfy emotional needs. I don't know what... You have a niche. There is a niche you guys have and you feel weird. And just do it, guys. Don't be afraid of it. Like, I'm sitting here trying to say something else and it won't let me say anything but niche. You guys have something special. So just allow yourselves to do it. Don't fight it so much. It's a beautiful thing. So back to what I was trying to say. Satisfy emotional needs. Nurture self and others. Like I said, you guys need to be nurturing your own weirdness here. I swear if you guys don't get the freaking weirdness card, I don't know what's going on, because that you guys need to embrace this. I don't know what you got chilling in Aquarius. I don't know if it's your moon, or if you have your 12th or 9th house, or your 3rd house ruled by Aquarius. Maybe you have your Chiron in Aquarius. You guys got something going on in Aquarius over here where you're... Maybe you got maybe you got a stellium in Aquarius. You just got things going on where you are meant to be this rebellious energy against, even though it's not really you rebelling, it's just you doing your own unique thing. But it's going to be seen as rebellion, and that's why it feels so weird. It's like, I'm not trying to do anything too crazy, but I create waves. It's like, that does not mean you're doing anything wrong. Ego does not. The illusion of being trapped, placing too much importance on material items, getting caught up in fear and worry. I'm just going to stop there for this group. That's going to be the end of the reading. We're But no, seriously, you guys. Like, this ego energy is just, your ego is coming up, and this is what your inner child's trying to say. Ego is blocking me. This is literally your inner child is saying, the ego is blocking me. I want to come out and share my weirdness. But this fear of not being accepted or not being able to make money because I'm not copying other people that have made money with it. Or just being, it's literally an illusion. Like, being trapped inside this box that you can't come out of. And your inner child is like, no, I'm gonna break this thing with a bat if you don't let me out soon. Like, your inner child is so ready to come out. And it's tired of the ego being the one that's front and center over here. Like, you see this thing? This person is building. This person is burning this piece of paper over here. I'm trying to see if I can make it focus for you guys so you can see it. Will you stop? Do I have to turn the card this way so it doesn't... I want you guys to see this word on this card, but all the crystals are like, no. there any way I can make it to where only the cards on the screen? See, guilt. Guilt. Trying to hold it so you guys can see it. I'm about to pass out. No, the guilt that's sitting on there being burned, okay? This piece of paper with the word guilt on it is straight up being burnt. That's what you guys need to do, okay? Some of you, like I was saying, there's that family thing where your inner child's like, hey, we're meant to be different, and your family is over here like, no, you need to go to school to be a doctor because everyone in the family is a doctor for generations. No. No. You need to burn that guilt up right now and start diving into your inner child and having some fun for once, because this really feels like being pushed into like a pigeonhole and being told this is what you get to do for your life, when that no one dictates that shit. You guys have the King of Winter. Telling you, you're gonna come out with your sword, freaking King of Winter, and be like, I'm gonna slice it apart. I'm gonna slice this whole thing out, and I'm gonna be unemotional about it, because you know what? I'm tired of being told what to do with my life. And the thing is, this is public speaking. For some of you, like, it really is a platform thing. I mean, you got the 3rd house over here. You got the 9th house. Like, you have the opposing houses. Not the opposing houses. I didn't mean to say... Yeah, opposing houses. And you have opposition, because 3rd and 9th house oppose each other. So you guys have this balance that's really needed between like your spirituality, your healing, your communication. And this is pretty much... Okay, sirens. Okay, we're just... Okay, sirens. Get a major... Freaking sorry. Just get a major confirmation for you guys that you need balance between your communication and your spirituality. But for some of you, this is a platform where you guys are openly discussing what you believe, and it might piss your family off. It might be like a deep-seated thing where it pisses your family off. It might be you discussing what you want to do with your life, what your dreams are, your aspirations, what you actually want to do. It could be you actually talking to your family about it and it pisses them off. But the thing is, you're over here like realizing you have, and some of you are clairaudient, because having this communication and this merging energy with your gifts are awakening is really making me think of clairaudience. Others of you, it's definitely there's singing. We already got public speaking over here. There's a lot of voice energy over here, because these energies are coming together. Some of you, you just have very rapid learning abilities. Like, you just pick up things very fast. And if that's not something you used to have, you're coming into it. Or you're just able to really rationalize things very quickly. And that could help you with working through this ego, being introspective, like very rapidly introspective and working through things. But it's because you're able to pull away and be more objective. Or it could be that you go to someone for advice and they help you through it. It could be like someone that's a professional that really helps you work through these things and lets you see your strong points. And you guys got the Princess of Summer. And this energy in itself, even though like we have this King of Winter, for those of you that are like, but I don't want to be like, you know, completely devoid of emotion and be rude, that's not what this is. You guys are still going to be gentle, you're still going to be kind. But what it is detaching yourself from the expectations. And that in itself is an emotional experience, because it's almost like you're detaching yourself from an identity that was built by the ego to survive. It was how you made it through growing up, and your inner child knows this. That's why these messages are coming out from your inner child. You are not going to lose this aspect of yourself by detaching and going after what you want. That's a fear that the ego puts on you, that by detaching from what you know, you're going to lose everything. What you're going to lose is dead weight. Like the things that are holding you back, that's going to drop so you can move forward and do what you're meant to do. So you can be successful in your own right, instead of, for some reason, like family stuff keeps coming with this group, like family business, or following in the footsteps, like I was saying that thing earlier. But it's like either that, or like trying to live up to the where's the word, live up to the standards that are placed, or living up to the image or something that an older sibling created, or possibly a friend of the parent's child created. It's like there's no focus on your individuality. So it's almost like the pure focus has always been, can you live up to this other thing? And that's your own great success lies in the fact that you're not trying to live up to anything else. You're just trying to live up to you, which is like a big difference than trying to do something someone else has done. So it's like if you're feeling unhappy, that's the reason, is because you're not doing what you truly want to do in your heart. You're just trying to satisfy someone else's pride and ego that needs to go shove it somewhere. See, now I want to show you this, because these two things came out together. I want to show you this one first. Being bored. It's like, who cares? It doesn't make you happy. Like, this thing that is trying to be forced on you, it does not make you happy. Fitting a mold does not make you happy. Caring about what everyone thinks does not make you happy. How others are going to receive it does not make you happy. What makes you happy? The sun. You know, the polar opposite of being bored with some shit, being completely happy in the sun, is your gifts. Being completely in tune and happy with your gifts. And I want to show you guys the polar opposite energy here. We have ego and we have the sun. The sun in astrology represents our ego. Now, our inner child, the 5th house energy, is ruled by the sun. So we have both ego and inner child energy here. And it's trying to be very loud, your inner child is, and let you know, hey, let's do this. Let's do the fun thing instead of sitting over here in this BS, is pretty much what your inner child is screaming right now. So you guys have tons of gifts over here, and you're bored as all get out with this crap. Being told what true success is by everybody else, including your own ego that's been protecting you since you were young, because this is what was shoved down your throat, basically. You guys can make anything work out that you want. And you guys would be completely grateful for it. Like, but the thing is, you guys are scared because it's like, do I want to take the sure thing that will make me unhappy? Or do I want to take the risk that I know will make me happy? And the thing is, this literally says plans that work out perfectly. Like, you go from being bored and not seeing magical freaking opportunities and taking things for granted to being completely grateful. Just because you choose that true success is actually doing what makes you happy. It's a choice. And then, see, you get the sun and then you get the moon. Moon, bottom of the deck. So, powerful, intuitive epiphanies, letting go of worry and fear, understanding the truth of a situation. Okay. I don't know how many times I'm going to say this is the end of your reading in here, but we're just going to keep going with it because you guys have like more confirmations than the last group coming through here. You are worthy. Just because you choose to do something different doesn't mean that you're any less valuable. It doesn't mean that there's something wrong with you. And it doesn't mean you're not worthy of affection and love and praise. So if people are withholding that from you because you're not doing something that floats their boat, then they can just go shove it, like, for real. You're worthy regardless. Oh, that one flipped over. See, this right here, this one for this group is so good because I'm over here all excited. This one's for this group is so good. Your ancestors are cheering you on. Who the frick cares about the people now that are being sticks up the butt? You guys have the ancestors coming in saying, you know what, this could be great greats, whatever it is, but they're coming through and they are loving how unique you are, because you're probably picking up some of the things that were dropped off and traditions that were left, and you don't know where they're coming from, but it's coming from them. And that's why they're so freaking happy. And then all of a sudden it's getting smushed and they're like, no, like coming in and trying to like push you out of it again and not let you get shoved down, because it's almost like something got shut down in your family and it became boring. It literally became boring. So it's like, please break it. Your ancestors were like, please go do the thing, do the fun thing, please. It'll heal the entire line if you do the fun thing instead of repeating the boring thing. You deserve happiness. See, I know this is an inner child reading, but like, I feel like your inner child's yelling and so are your ancestors. Like, you've got both of them yelling at you in this reading. Like, you've got a double whammy coming through. And then you have your journey holds so much power. For some of you, this public speaking is going to be you talking about how you overcame this and still went after what you want. It's going to be a huge part of your success story, and it's going to be what other people need. Your ancestors are loving the hell out of it, though. They also love the freaking wild hair you put up people's ass when you do completely opposite of what you're told to do. Create from your heart. Yeah, instead of being bored, just start creating from what makes you happy. Because, I mean, obviously, I'm pretty sure you can look at them and be like, you know they aren't happy, and there's things that they do that you know would make them happier, but they chose not to explore it because they just followed tradition. You're meant to break tradition, and your ancestors are happy about it. They've probably been sitting there waiting forever for someone to do something different. I love how every pile so far has gotten this card. The inner child messages is like, make your healing your priority. For every single freaking group is like, make sure your healing is the priority here. Not everyone's business, not you carry on the family name, not you following in someone's footsteps. What's important is your own healing. And you guys got Chiron and 12th house over here bringing up healing too. So you guys definitely have, I feel like you guys are healing a lineage just by following what actually makes you happy. Dang. See, I like to call this one the Bob Ross card, because look at the trees. Look at the happy trees. But, okay, don't mind me. But trust your inner wisdom. You guys, this is an inner child thing, and you have like the messages, and it's trust your inner wisdom. This is like this is like your inner child saying, well, you freaking trust me for once. This is literally what this is. It's like, freaking trust me. It's on the sun, which is representative of that inner child energy. It's in conjunction with your gifts. It's like, just trust the thing. Trust the thing and do it. Make yourself the priority and do it. Is pretty much all it is. And quit laughing at my Bob Ross. And then look, freedom. There's freedom in expressing your truth. This whole group, it's like you guys have this something. There is something there that everybody, not just your inner child, your ancestors came through in the reading too. So it's like you got this big cheerleading squad over here trying to be like, yes, do the different thing. Don't follow the trends. Don't do blah blah blah. Like you guys are having this big uproar of a cheering squad over here saying, don't you do it. Don't you even like you were given a lot of gifts that are really opening up right now for a reason. Desperate. Respect starts with valuing your energy and time. You are worthy of respect. Like, okay, look, this right here with being true to your desires, this valuing your energy and your time instead of squandering it away over something that everyone else is sitting here like, oh, you need to do this, but your ancestors are like, please no. Please. Your inner child is like, no. It's like all of these things. You even got the thing that reminds me the most of inner child with the you deserve happiness with the little spinny wheels that I can't remember the names of right now, but the little wind spin wheels, whatever they are. But anyways, in this picture. But having this coming out with desperate is like, don't be desperate for other people's approval. That's not success. That is not what your heart wants. It's like, listen more to your heart instead of all these other voices telling you, you'd be good at this. This is what the family's done. This is your talent. They don't know what the hell your talent is. It's awakening right now. Like, it's coming out. I'm coming out. It's pretty much what your stuff's doing right now. Some of you definitely have this singing thing that you guys need to start doing because you've been ignoring it for your life because of how this is being treated. But yeah, you guys definitely don't need this other shit. Oh my god. You guys get trashed. Be aware of where you choose to litter your soul. Your ancestors and your inner child are considering how you're throwing away your gifts, like you're just littering your soul everywhere. You're trashing, you're tossing your gifts in the garbage can. You're like, oh well, I guess I wasn't meant to do. No. This thing right here, they are really throwing some words at you right now. They are spicy. These are spicy inner children and spicy ancestors coming through here very hard. They started out with a sweet card, hold your heart with compassion, and then came in swinging on a freaking wrecking ball trying to make you wake up from the fact that, no. Then we have trust. And with this one, baby birds know they have wings and when they are ready to leave the nest. Okay, this I feel is like really important for you guys. I don't know if you guys are the baby of the family, and it could be why this is happening. But this, like I said, you guys are put under a lot of pressure to behave or be like something else. But the thing is, even if your parents or whatever it is do not know how to let go and let you fly, you still know when you need to go. You know when you need to leave the nest. You know you got wings. You know you can fly. So just freaking do it. Like, that's your true success, is not caring about the fact that they're telling you that you're not ready. You know you are. And that's the whole thing. That's why it's like more and more of your stuff is coming to light that you can do, and you know you have a lot of potential, but you're squandering it. Don't squander it by trying to fit into a mold or trying to carry on a tradition that makes you unhappy. You got collapse. Rest now so you can bloom later. And your gifts are awakening. Some of you are probably really freaking tired. I'm not gonna lie. Also, if this is your first time doing inner child work and you haven't really, like, you know, thrown yourself into it before, and like this is a whole lot, make sure you rest. Because just from this, it's almost like you're having different burdens that are polar opposite burdens being placed on you. And you've had it since birth. So this is something where it's like people predetermined that they were going to have a child and this is what the child would do. But then the lineage, the ancestors are over here like, no, that's not what we want. We want them to break the boring cycle. We are over it. So there was this warring energy with you coming into the world anyways. And then your own inner child's like, we need to do what we want. I don't care. It's like you have a very stubborn inner child that you need to tap into some more. Because that little fiery spitfire you got hiding down in there could come out and really turn some heads and make some stuff happen. And then we have differences. Beautiful crystals come in all shapes, colors, and sizes from different places. Once again, we're going to talk about you being unique. All kinds of different colors, different shapes, different sizes, different places. This is literally saying your gifts come in variety. You are a variety pack. You're a variety pack. So allow that, guys. Allow yourself to like trust the fact that you have all these things, that you have the wings that you need to fly, and that anytime you feel like resting, you can rest. You are worthy. This is like the other group where it's like you deserve love, but you guys are just like, this is a feeling worthy thing, like being made to feel like, you know, you don't live up to expectations. You're worthy whether or not they agree with what you're doing. They don't determine your worth. Like that thing said, your like respect, like instead of feeling desperate, it's like having that respect in what you choose to do with your time and your energy is what's most important. And also this group was the one that chose the Rose Quartz Fairy, which I find very interesting because fairies are very spunky little people. The fae are spunky. They will come out, mess some stuff up, do their own thing. They don't care. They want to be unique. They want to do their own thing. Like this little fae sitting on a moon. Like, all of them are unique. Their wings are all unique. Wings keep coming up for you guys. I don't know if you have confirmation. There's feathers even, and there's birds and feathers all across your cards too. So I don't know if there's like a wing thing with you guys where you get confirmation through birds or wings or whatever it is. Maybe you get feathers randomly. That's your ancestors coming through. Like if you're doing something and you're not sure and you're feeling like, I don't know if this is the right thing, and you randomly find a freaking feather or bird starts squawking at you, it's your ancestors. Butterfly goes by, anything with wings. You're pretty much getting a notification like, ding, yeah, it's right, from your ancestors when you see feathers or birds or any winged creature. But it's pretty much like a freaking text message or instant message from your freaking guides and your ancestors and your inner child. But also with rose quartz is the stone of compassion. It is the stone of love. It is pink, so it can be loving relationships, reconciliation, but it's also very big on self-love, because whereas green I feel is so outwardly towards other people, pink is very inward. It is very like, you know, hold your heart with compassion type energy. It's being open to receiving love and not always giving it. It's being open to receiving praise and not always giving it. And the thing is, self-love would bring you guys a lot of confidence and really help you open up your gifts a lot more. And don't be afraid, even if you feel like you're a little baby bird, to get up and spread your wings and fly and do something different. Go in a direction that no one in your family has gone before. Okay, so my last group, my little foxes. Where can I put you guys? I'll put you guys over here. This is my little foxes. My strawberry quartz group over here. I want to lay it flat because I like how the little, maybe we'll turn him, can you guys see him better down here? Yeah, we'll put him right here so you guys can like see his little tail and his ears over here. You guys are very indecisive. That's what this is. You guys are a really indecisive bunch. It's probably the main thing that's coming in here with your inner child is a bunch of indecisive energy. Not knowing which way to go. Not knowing what you're looking at, what you're supposed to be doing. So let's see. Strawberry Quartz, my little fox group. Let's see what's going on with you guys. Just straight out the gate, laugh more. You guys are too serious. Just start laughing right now. Hopefully you guys laughed at the fact that your little fox didn't want to sit anywhere on this table. You guys are so uncomfortable and prickly. Oh my god. Okay, this group, okay. So this is an inner child message reading, and you guys are just getting straight yelled at. Your inner child is tired of you ignoring it over and over again. This is why this little fox couldn't find a place to sit, is because you guys are probably sitting here like, oh, I'm not going to get any messages from this. I don't even know why I'm listening to this right now. It's like, oh my goodness. Okay, this, I'm not going to lie, this is probably going to be a funny group. Create your own path. This feels like some very stubborn energy. Like some very stubborn, like, I need to be serious, like, no nonsense energy. That's not practical. That's not gonna work. It's almost like you were brought up by a freaking boot camp or something where it's like, no laughing, no being loud, like, kind of thing. Plant your feet in the ground. Pretty much telling you guys to sit still for a minute, because this is really giving me some workaholic vibes where you guys are like on the grind to a point where it's unhealthy. And it's like you've lost a lot of your humor. You're completely ignoring your inner child, which means your creativity is like, boom, gone. Create your own path isn't even happening. It's like you guys are being told to just stop. Just stop for a second. Think. Because I don't even feel like you guys are thinking. You guys are just kind of like on this, it's almost like a hamster wheel. Be courageous. The reason a lot of you guys are doing this is because it feels safer. It's probably something you've seen, you know that it works. It's pretty much a fail-safe. Now, safety is not making your inner child happy. If anything, your inner child is a little risk taker over here and it wants to do some fun things, and you're like, nah, I'm not gonna do that. That doesn't seem like it'd be a good thing for me. So you guys are just pretty much saying no to it constantly, and it's getting upset. It wants you to get, okay, look. The reason it's over here being so loud is because you're going to be meeting some people soon that got their shit together. And if you're being a stick up the butt and still ignoring things and not working on things and not really stepping up and taking control of the situation here with that freaking horn outside, then you're going to have these people coming in that really are your soul family, that really connect to you. And you're going to be feeling outcast in your own soul family. And your inner child's like, oh hell no. Like honor yourself first. This really is giving me some workaholic vibes. Like this energy is so like, it's very scattered, but it's very serious. It's not necessarily like it's scattered in the way where it's very dreamy. It's more like it's scattered because it's frazzled and burnt out and overused to the point where this inner child message is a straight up stop ignoring your inner child, because it's completely ignored. It's wanting to be loud right now and give you very to the point messages of like, you know, stop and listen. Be still with planting your feet in the ground for at least a minute or two, because it's like, I'm tired of trying to reach you through every damn thing in the world and you don't listen to me. Oh my gosh, I was thinking the whole time, don't be, oh my god, okay, here you go. We got Aquarius. We have originality, philanthropy, and progressive imaginings. Now, this whole time I was, which is so funny that this card comes out, I was thinking about how being a workaholic, being very like rigid, was reminding me of both Capricorn and Aquarius energy, because Aquarius is co-ruler as Saturn. And Aquarius, when they get in their mindset where they're on this plane of not needing to learn something, they get very rigid, they shut down, they're not creative, and it's like they can go into like full on F it mode, man. So this energy coming out right here is really, for one, it's confirming for me I should have just opened my mouth and said it. But at the same time, it's saying like, when you open up and you kind of let loose a little bit, things will come through that you didn't even know were there. Some of you honestly don't focus on stuff because you just feel like you're not a creative person. You're like, I don't really have creativity. It's no, that everyone has creativity in some form or fashion, and you guys definitely got something weird going on with your Aquarius energy flying out over here, wanting to do double time. We got Yang coming out over here. Proactivity, expression, doing, and forward motion. This is masculine energy. So, and Aquarius is actually one of the Yangs on this card. You guys, I don't know if you guys got some Aquarius placements, but you guys are being yelled at. But also, for those of you that you don't feel productive unless you're doing something, it's almost like you guys cannot sit still. You can't allow yourselves to relax, which laughing helps you relax. So that laugh more at the beginning was just like, come on. It's like they're trying to smack you with something to wake you up over here. Got house 4 with cultural and family roots, home, peace, and comfort. So you're being told to create your own path, and you're over here like, yeah, I'm comfortable just sitting in my house, being kind of reclusive. You know, I go to work, I'm a workaholic, and I come home. Guys, got 8th house with transformation, karma, facing fears, and legacies. So this, you guys, okay, you having this, like I said, you guys have some fears over here. You're stubborn, you are not wanting to stay still. It's like this workaholic thing into the ground, and it's like you're having this family and roots, but you're not thinking outside the box. For one, you guys are going to have to face some fears that you're not going to be so happy about, because you got the straight up stop ignoring your inner child card. So that means you guys are starting from scratch over here and having to work through your stuff. There's going to be some karma coming your way that's going to make you learn this if you don't start picking up and stop being so rigid to change. Because Aquarius is fixed energy, as is 8th house Scorpio energy is fixed energy. You guys need to loosen your grip on needing to control everything and start flowing more. Otherwise, I would not be surprised if this group gets the Tower card, because otherwise things are going to come swinging in and just make you. Because there's definitely something here where it's been building for a bit and things are tired of sitting there and waiting. Okay. I literally just said this. We have Uranus in radically changing. Like radical change. Like just boom, change. You guys have no... This might as well... Okay, in this deck, if we were going to think of cards being tarot cards, this card would be the Tower card, in my opinion. Because it's like... It comes in, it's unpredictable. Uranus just does whatever the hell it wants. You got freaking Aquarius over here too, so you're getting the double energy. If you guys get 11th house, you better get up and start doing this today. But this is letting you know things are changing. You're gonna have to face your fears, and you're gonna have to get out of your comfort zone. You just sticking your nose in the sand and burying yourself in work is not gonna cut it. You ignoring everything for the sake of like, oh, at least, you know, it doesn't really matter if people think I don't have a sense of humor or I'm not creative. And the thing is, that's what you're saying about yourself. That's not what other people are saying. Like, even if they're saying it, they might be joking, trying to see if you'll, you know, laugh a little bit over here. But more than likely what's happening is you're over here being a bore, and that's what happens when you cut off your inner child. You become a bore. Like, no joke. Because the inner child's all the laughter, it's the fun, it's the creativity, it's the spontaneity. It's like, if you just flat out ignore it and cut it off, like, you're pretty much like a really boring person. And I'm not going to say an old person either, because there's some old people that are extremely connected to their inner child, and they're a blast to be around. It has nothing to do with age. You can be a 10-year-old and be a bore. But it's like, this will probably not, because they're still in that inner child thing. But you could be going into, like, being older than that and, like, being a bore because you've cut it off and you're not listening to your inner child anymore. But this and Scorpio energy. I literally just said Scorpio was fixed energy. Intensity, exposing, purging, and renewing. Your inner child is wanting to freaking purge. Literally, if this lineup over here is really speaking to the Death card and the Tower card. Like, we might as well just have those cards laying here. Like, radical, fast, unexpected change, purging, renewing, facing fears, and just this progression happening, finally. But all of this energy is literally saying all that's going to happen. There's going to be a whole bunch of it into, like, one jam-packed session if you guys don't stop ignoring your inner child. Oh my goodness. And it's going to be big. Yeah, Jupiter. Thanks for the follow, hun. Grow and expand. You're literally being yelled at by a card to grow and expand. Like, this is a stubborn group. Very stubborn group. I started out saying you guys are stubborn, and like, this is just proving to me that you guys are stubborn. Let's see what these fairies have to say. Like I said, if I get the Death or the Tower card coming out in this tarot, you guys better gear up and get your stuff in order. You got the 8 of Summer. You guys needing to walk away from some shit. But you guys are also desiring to have a more meaningful life. You guys know deep down that you are bored out of your mind, that you don't like this day in and day out, 9 to 5 whatever, even if it's graveyard shift, whatever it is, this boring thing, you know you want to do something fun and creative. And you guys are in this realization, like the reason that you're very unhappy right now is because you've already realized you got to move on to be happy, and you have to make life changes. Now this 8 of summer is saying choosing to make major life changes. As you can see, you still have a choice as it is at the moment. Right now, you have a choice. They're giving you a little bit of breathing, not even breathing, they're giving you a little bit of room to stretch your legs. But this is them being a little nice, first telling you to laugh more, and then now they're coming out yelling, stop ignoring the inner child. And you guys get the 4 of Autumn. You guys are being told to manage what you have instead of burning yourself into the ground. Because some of you, maybe the reason you're burning yourself into the ground is quite literally because you have spending habits that need this extra money. And it's because you're trying to fill this void that comes from you ignoring the inner child. And this void is never going to end unless you actually find out what the problem is. And this literally says in the card to achieve a balance in how you spend and how you save. Now, I feel for most of you it's in how you spend, because you're trying to fill a void. You're trying to make yourself comfortable. You're trying to fill your house with things that make you happy, but you're not filling and satisfying your emotional needs or your creative needs, so it always feels like you need more. Now, this is also talking about coming out of yourself, and you have house 4 and you have 4 of Autumn, so you guys might see repeating 4s. But this is trying to get you to understand that where you are focusing things, and I feel like you guys are kind of a Scrooge also, like there's just something with this group where you guys really need to let loose, but not in the sense where you go on a spending spree on senseless crap. It's more about like you guys being open and generous and moving forward and learning to open up and be vulnerable, because you guys have closed off something fierce. Like this yang energy I think was coming out and letting you guys know that you're so far off in masculine energy that your sense of connectedness is just not even there. Got 8 of Spring coming out here. And this is stress from having tons of stuff happening at one time. It's like multitasking. But then, you know, like I said, you have a choice over here, right? We're starting off, you know, the first 8 that we have where you're, you know, choosing to make major life changes. We're progressing to another 8. And this one is saying sudden events or changes. And it's getting closer to this Uranus energy and facing some fears. If you guys don't choose to like start helping yourselves, doing something, this might even be therapy for some of you, because this seems very fixed, heavy energy, and 8 of Cups walking away can be very painful. For some of you to start, maybe you might need therapy, maybe you might need to open your mind a little bit and realize that some help would actually be what you need as a starting point. Now, for others of you, this is like you know what you need to do and you keep putting it off and just putting things in front, like trying to fill it with material things instead of doing it. And you're getting very stressed out because your spending habits are making you need to work more. Now, if you don't choose to make changes, then what's going to happen, because this is you emotionally, right? Like this is 8 of Cups energy. This is you emotionally choosing to do something that's better for yourself. This Wand energy is spirit energy. It's also like physical movement energy. So this sudden change or the sudden event that will come up is going to be something that like literally rocks your world. It's going to be something that really makes you have to take care of a lot more than what you were taking care of before. And it's not to fill your habits, it's to actually break you of your habits, which will be definitely Okay, these just flipped over on me. So these are sitting here, but we have this in the middle of them. So I want to do it this way first. We have the Queen of Summer with listen to your heart, intuitive insights you can trust, taking care of others perhaps too much. So some of this workaholic can actually be sense of obligation, which is why you're so serious too. Now, we also have the Ten of Summer, which is an emotionally fulfilling life with family or friends, can't talk, raising children wisely, and people you can trust. There's a lot of energy here saying you can trust. But then we have this Five of Winter here. Walk away from dishonest associations, realizing that what you thought you wanted isn't the best choice for your happiness, something that's not worth the effort. So you have these energies with this stuck in the middle. It's like a wrench in it. It's like going, like you being in your queen, like moving right here. All this energy. Where, and plus the soul family coming, and you're getting all this beautiful life with family too. So you're getting cards here, quite a few of them, that are saying events changing, that are saying that you desire a more meaningful life, that you need to move and walk away from things that aren't good for you, and you already know it. Now, you guys, another 8. This is the 8 of Winter, which is the 8 of Swords. You have what it takes if only you believe in yourself. Thinking that you're powerless when you're not. A lack of self-confidence that keeps you from getting what you want. Like I said, some of you are unhappy. You already know you're unhappy. You know what you want. You know what you have to do. But you're not doing it. And that's purely because either you don't feel like you're worth it, you don't feel confident enough to do it. Some of you are too stuck in your ways and it'd be uncomfortable for you to change it. But I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys, regardless of how you feel, it's going to start changing. Right now, you are still in this space where you're choosing to make these decisions. It depends on what you start doing with your resources, not just money, but all your resources, which is your time, your energy, your efforts, everything you're doing. How are you managing your resources? If you guys don't pick up the change, then what's going to happen is there's going to be some fire lit under your ass. There's going to be some random things that start happening that really start pushing you to be more aware of what's going on around you. You're going to have to come more into understanding your intuition with this happening and having to trust your gut on making decisions instead of being so disassociated from everything. And it's going to make you have to walk away from things. This could be work, this could be friendships, this could be family. You guys are going to have to walk away from dishonest people that you probably already know are dishonest, but you're over here, you keep giving them the benefit of the doubt, and you keep pouring your cup into theirs and emptying completely. And then they just keep coming back and taking more. You're not going to achieve this 10 of Cups without releasing this shit. You can't have the 10 of Cups without releasing this crap. It's like literally, it's in the middle. It's blocking it. You can't have it. And this is the be courageous energy. This is you stepping out. And this is coming out with Uranus and Scorpio energy. It's like, this is gonna feel painful, okay? Like, this isn't some little walk in the park. Like I said, you guys literally got to stop ignoring your inner child, which means this is some beginning work for you guys. But you know you have to do it. And that's like putting you ahead of the game here. So these came out together. We got trust your inner wisdom and others' pain is not your responsibility. This is coming out with you choosing to walk away. You choosing to have a more optimistic look on life and to start learning to see the beauty in things more than the negativity. Now, by making this choice, trusting your inner wisdom and realizing that what other people have going on in their life is not your responsibility, especially if they are not paying your bills, this is like you choosing to stop ignoring and doing something with it. Now, let's keep going. Let's see what happens if you don't trust it and realize that other people aren't your responsibility, because this thing keeps unfolding into a story for you guys. So we have, you can love all of you while releasing your pain. There's a big difference here, okay? You're being told others' pain is not your responsibility, but you need to take accountability for your own pain. You need to nurture yourself and you need to work through your pain with yourself instead of putting all your attention, your resources. Like I said, this is going to be the pivoting point. Where are you going to choose to put your resources? Are you going to keep putting it in other people and making other people your responsibility? This is not talking about children, by the way. If you have children, that is not what this is about. This is people that have drama and they're grown adults and they act like children and they need to get their shit together. But this right here, if you are choosing to put all your resources, your time, your effort, your money, your energy, whatever it is, into other people, instead of focusing on what you need to do and what you need to release and what you need to take care of, this is like the balancing act here. Like, what are you going to choose to do with your resources? Because you're being given a choice here. You're choosing if you want to make a change in your life right here. This is if you're going to stop ignoring your inner child. Even your oh my gosh, your ancestors coming in like, okay, I know this is an inner child reading, but we believe in you, man. We know you can do this. But I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now, with your ancestors coming out on this Eight of Wands, the ones that are going to kick your ass are your ancestors. Because they don't want to see you just wasting away over here while, you know, this ancestors cheering you on feels like they're going to shove a boot in your ass. I'm not going to lie. The way they're going to cheer you on is by throwing some shit your way that you got to take care of. It's like, we will cheer you on as you work through this. We're going to keep throwing some stuff at you till you get it. But you'll get it. Your sensitivity is your strength. And you get this with the Queen of Summer. This is the Queen of Cups. Loving, emotional, comforting, intuitive. This is all about, like, really being in tune with your emotions. Like I said, some of you are very out of touch with them. Like, you're completely out of touch with your inner child, which is your ability to create, to see the light, and when I say light, I'm like seeing the lighter side of life, not like seeing the light kind of thing. But unless you do have gifts like that, I don't know, I don't judge. But it's like your sensitivity coming in here and being shown as your strength is like, quit dimming the fact that you have emotions as a weakness. Like, I don't know who taught you that. Like I said, it feels like some of you were brought up in a boot camp and like crying with like, don't cry. It's not allowed here. But it's your strength. You being a sensitive person, and like some of you could quite easily be empaths, which is why it was so hard for you and why you shut down so hard. This is a huge strength for you guys, and you have a lot laying in this part of you. Some of this dishonesty could actually be dishonest thoughts that were placed in your mind that you've kept around. It might not even be fully people. Some of it is people, But some of you just have thoughts in your mind that were placed there that weren't the truth. Okay, I'm over here talking about light like 50 times, and then you guys get your light belongs to you for a reason. Okay, so maybe, okay, light. You guys are definitely light. This came out with it. But allow yourself to breathe with all the butterflies. Like I said, you guys are like driving yourselves into the ground over here. It's like this plant your feet in the ground was literally telling you stop. Like, take care of yourselves. Like, breathe a little bit. Choose to put your resources into yourself. You even got something telling you be still. Be still, the answers are coming. You guys are just being told a whole lot to, like, you know, rest a little bit. Stay still. Breathe. Like, or we're going to make you breathe. Your ancestors coming in here. Like, we're trying to give you advice here. We're trying to, like, give you situations where you can sit, but you keep pushing yourself. So if you keep doing this, we're going to find a way to make you breathe. Like, you're going to sit for real. And believe me, they find a way to make you sit. I've been made to sit before. It's not fun. You don't want to be made to sit. You'd much rather choose to sit, believe me. You guys got trash. Come on. Come on. Be aware. Excuse you. I was reading that. Be aware of where you choose to litter your soul. See other people's pain. It's not your responsibility. Don't go littering all your resources all over their stuff when they can handle it themselves. They're a grown-ass adult. Let them go to therapy instead of making you have to go to therapy for trying to take care of all their problems while they walk off all hunky-dory. Then we have believe. You guys really are stubborn. The first step is just the beginning, so enjoy the ride. Well, if you guys don't start doing something, you're definitely going to be enjoying one hell of a ride. But the thing is, it's like the other stuff. Like, you guys really lack this belief in yourself. And it's probably because you were stifled so much. Like I said, it feels like you were brought up in a boot camp or something. It's just like all of the life and the vitality and the creativity and the fun was just snuffed out. It's like you weren't allowed to be the fun-loving kid. It's like you had to be serious. So you grew up being serious and now you're still serious. But you know it doesn't make you happy. Okay, we have blind. You are not supposed to stare at the sun forever. Take a break in the shade. There's like at least 3 messages in this one card for you guys over here. So, for one, blind. You're blind to your own... Oh my gosh, and you have light. You're blind to your own light. Let's just throw that in there. But you're also blind to what you're doing to yourself. Even though you know you're unhappy, you're blind to where you're throwing everything haphazardly. Also, not staring at the sun forever. Quit burning yourself into the ground. Quit burning out. Quit throwing yourself in front of a train for people who don't give a... You know. And then taking a break in the shade is the breathing. Allow yourself to have a break. Like... I can guarantee you, these people that you're trying to throw yourself out there for that aren't children, they're, like I said, they're grown adults that can take care of their own business. These people that you're throwing out there, all your stuff for, all your resources, just completely burning out, I can guarantee you, if you burn out and you're not useful anymore, they'll move on. And I know that hurts, but it's a harsh fact that when people treat you like this, that's the kind of energy it is. Like, they're the use and leave type of people. and you're squandering resources, and you're ignoring yourself in the healing that you need to do, and just continuously putting yourself in a cycle that hurts over and over again by ignoring yourself and choosing to make others a priority over yourself. And we got Destiny. Plant yourself in the fertile soil, nurture your deepest desires, and watch your dreams grow. You guys are going to find awesome people, especially if you drop this crap that you're dealing with other people. You have really good people coming in, or you might already kind of have them kind of starting to trickle into your life, which is making you realize that you actually are unhappy, like getting to know these people and seeing just how much they do things, and it makes you want to do stuff, but you're feeling stuck and like you can never do it. You can. You just have to back away from the people that are sucking you dry and start doing the work here, because this is like a beginning step, which is why you guys are being given so much information on how to do different steps of this. There's a lot of messages in here about how to work through this thing and how it's going to come through, what it's going to look like all this stuff, because I feel like you guys are starting it, and it's like people are bringing it to your attention. And then we have Grace. Remain humble when everything is going right, or miss the sun when the light is gone. There's two things with that final message for you guys. For one, if you're around people that are always bragging about what they have, but then when you need help they don't have anything, then this is pretty much showing you that you're being used, for one. But it's like these people only come around to show off because it makes them feel better and it builds them up. They're not dealing with anything of their own. If anything, they're just causing you more turmoil, which will make you have to go to like more work to deal with this. But having to deal with someone else's ego being big like that, and then them literally treating you like trash because you're just littering your resources on them literally so they can go and do whatever they want, and then when you need something they just turn around and stomp on you. It's like, you know, if this is specifically for you, who is doing this, okay? Like, it's probably hitting you like right on the head who it is. But this is also for some of you that are workaholics. Like I said, you guys have a spending thing where the way you're filling the void because you're ignoring the inner child is by spending and filling your home with material things, and it's like nothing is fixing how you feel, so you just keep buying more and it's making you more upset. This in itself is you not being grateful for what you have. You're not being humble. And the thing is, if you have more than you need, start giving back so you can see how grateful people will be having it and learn from their gratitude, because some of you guys really need to start from square one. Most of you do, because this is like you're having a lot of things here telling you, and 8, the number 8 corresponds to Saturn. Saturn is karma. So, and I know you guys had some stuff in here with karma too. Having Aquarius come out, having all these 8s come out. You guys, if you're not in your Saturn return, a Saturn square, whatever you're having, you are definitely having it to where you're going to be doing some karma-like work that feels like a Saturn return or a Saturn square, depending on what's aspecting in your chart. But this whole energy here is like a big awakening, whether it's a rude one or whether you start choosing to do it on your own, because there is a choice here. You can choose to start using your resources to work on what you have going on, or you can keep ignoring it and let your ancestors come in and throw a foot in there somewhere, Because it seems to me like your inner child's feeling completely ignored and like it doesn't have a voice anywhere, and it's been trying for a while and you're just completely blind. You don't even know what to do. So if you have nowhere to start, the best place to start is definitely see where people are treating you like this, and then start seeing what you're doing with your money, what you're doing with your time and your resources. And if you're doing it because you feel empty, if you're feeling empty, instead of trying to fill that with something physical, try to find something you can do that you love. So that way, and you have to do it without judgment, guys. You can't judge something you're making. You have to just do it. Otherwise, you'll never get anything done. You guys will just keep putting it off. And like I said, big thing with doing this, rest when you need to, because it's a lot. Once you start it, there's a lot of emotional stuff that comes up, and this sensitivity over here, especially if you're someone that had to block off all your emotions like it was a weakness, you going through this and opening it up and realizing just how much creativity and how much talent you had blocked in those emotions is going to be a lot. So if you need to take breaks, if you need to step back and breathe and rest, allow yourself to do it. Allow yourself to rest. Otherwise, you're going to burn out. Like, you need either way, like whether you're working yourself into the ground one way, like you guys have that workaholic nature where you start something and you burn yourself out. You guys really need to allow yourselves to have a more gentle approach to this. This isn't like just going to work. This is like a deep thing that can put you in a pit if you don't take breaks from it. And if it's too deep for you, then I would say go and get therapy. I'm never going to say, like, I won't advocate for therapy. I went for myself because my stuff was extremely messed up. So whatever you need to do to help yourself start getting into the motion with this, do what you need to do. It doesn't matter what anyone says. It's not your responsibility to be up their ass. So my little strawberry quartz boxes. Strawberry quartz is, in itself, it's a really cute name. It's really playful. And also, having quartz properties, it's an amplifier. So this can amplify both good and bad things if you want to like look at spectrums here. I'm using this as an example. So intention is everything with you guys. Whatever intention you're going to set, whatever focus you're going to put out there, make sure that you're aware of what you're doing, because awareness is really the first step, because you don't even realize half the stuff you're doing till you start trying to like sit back and be objective and pay attention to what you're doing throughout the day, because it's a lot of autopilot mode. Strawberry quartz is, oh, I almost knocked over my water. I need some water real quick. Okay, so but like I was saying for strawberry quartz, this is like being able to be calm. It's like it's gonna amplify, but it's like if you want calm, if you want to breathe, like I said, you guys kept getting this needing to plant your feet, stillness, breathe, shade. Like you guys were getting all this stuff where you guys need to like allow yourself to calm. So this is a stone that's really good about tranquility and calm, especially with stress. And you guys literally had a card about stress in here, but it's very gentle. It's not something that's gonna be like, you know, like the Moldavite thing over here. This this moldavite thing that's just going to throw you into the ring of fire over here and make you dance around and figure it out really quickly. This is like a very soothing, slow to work with energy, which would be good for you guys. And it's a very nurturing, especially if you guys are looking, because you guys have soul family over here. It's really great for looking for soulmates, people that really connect to you. And or if you're looking for a partner, and that's the reason why you're so tight wad up here, because eight of wands can be messages of love too. But your ancestors cheering you on, maybe they're going to send you somebody that'll kick you in the shape, which would be kind of funny. But this energy of itself is just a really sweet energy, and it's meant to ground you also. But it's also with it being a deeper pink instead of like, you know, the rose quartz where it's like a lighter pink. This is self-love, it is compassion, it is this deep sense of healing, but it's like a very grounded healing. It's almost like a mother's love, if I was to put it that way. So I don't know if some of you kind of lacked that kind of affection, or possibly like the mother was the one that was more militant, but this has little eyes. I keep getting distracted with this group. I feel like this group has like a lot of problems with distraction too. Like you guys try to distract yourself from your problems. So definitely, as well as strawberry quartz, I think clear quartz would be good for you guys because of the focus. Same with amethyst if you guys are getting into crystals. But even if you get crystals, if you just get them and sit them somewhere, it's not going to do anything. It's all about your intention. If anything, if you're going to look at something, like I'd look at this little fox and be like, you know, every time I see this little fox, I want to be more curious about exploring something I don't know. It's like, so when you see it, it's like, hey, what about this now? It's like little things like that. Or it's like, remind me to take a shower or something. It's like, it's really about intention. And like really feeling that instead of just being like, oh, it's a stone that has this property, so putting it here is immediately going to help me with this. Your intention behind it is what you're going to get. Now, if you want to sit here and, you know, just have stuff sitting around and let it be pretty, hey, then go for it. But if you're really wanting to manifest things and change, you have to put intention. You have to believe in yourself, because that's a huge thing here. So I feel like this is probably the longest live I have done. I am not gonna lie, I think it is the longest live I've done. But these went really in depth, and I mean, I'm glad I did them. I won't, well, in a way this will kind of make up for Wednesday. I won't be here Wednesday. I got stuff that I have to do, but I will be back on next Monday to do more of the pick a cards, but I won't be here for Wednesday. I already made videos for all the transits going up through next Wednesday. So Venus in Gemini, the Taurus new moon tomorrow, as well as Jupiter going into Pisces on Thursday. All of that stuff is already on YouTube and videos if you guys want to see what the transits are doing. But that should at least get you guys through till next Wednesday, when I can do more transits for you guys, because we're going to be having Saturn retrograde and Mercury retrograde. We're going to be having a lot more fun stuff happening. Plus we got that the blood moon eclipse that I did that prediction for way back in January, and it's finally here. That's so weird. I'm not gonna lie that it's like here, and that prediction was like, feels like 5 years ago. But yeah, my little strawberry quartz foxes, you guys have a great night, and everyone else that's still here, Don't forget about the contest. If you're not following me on, not subscribed to me on YouTube, just subscribe on YouTube and leave a little diamond emoji with by your favorite video, comment it by your favorite video, and you're entered for the little bundle of crystals in Palo Santo, and also my inner child deck, which I've been using this whole time for the inner child reading. Like these cards that you've been seeing me hold up. That's the giveaway. I'll announce it May 31st who wins. But yeah, you guys have a good night, and I will see you guys next Monday. Take care.